lives of the province's crime prevention wardens. A report by the public protector this week found that the establishment of the unit was irregular. It was released hours after Lesufi announced the disbandment of the crime prevention program. The DA has confirmed that it has submitted a motion of no confidence against the Premier in the legislature. Alfara Mushwana reports.
We swallowed our pride, we are pulling them out and retrain them to be an additional resource to push back crime.
That was Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi acknowledging that his crime prevention wardens require further training. This admission came just a month after 5 wardens were shot and injured in what is believed to have been a gang attack. DA Gauteng leader Solim Simanga has criticized Lesufi, saying it was reckless to deploy the wardens without proper training.
So we are talking to our lawyers in terms of what are the criminal charges that can actually then be opened here. By the way, there are AmaPanyazas that have died. Is there a case to answer in that? I think Panyaza will then need to then come and account to that.
Lesufi has vowed that the wardens will be absorbed as traffic officers. Alfa Ramshwana, Eyewitness News, Johannesburg.
Former Police Minister Bongani says his successor, Senzo Mchunu, was not in a position to instruct National Commissioner Fanny Masimula to disband the political killings task team. Cele has also accused Mchunu of being influenced by external factors when he issued the directive to disband the team. He told the ad hoc committee in Parliament probing police corruption yesterday that Mchunu went about the de-establishment in the wrong way and should have consulted widely. Babalondenza reports.
Cele says Minister Senzo Mchunu was wrong when he said the interministerial committee that watches over the task team no longer existed in the new administration. He says the IMC and Fanny Masimula should have also been Mchunu's first step when he decided to disband the task team. Cele added that Masimula doesn't take instructions from Mchunu on police operations.
Just to get some outside influence with a very tough language to say you instruct. Ministers don't instruct national commissioners. We can sit down and put my ideas and say, but Minister, it is not so. Operationally,
Cele will return to the committee for his final day of testimony today, where he will continue taking questions from MPs on his opposition to the task team disbandment, as well as his links to people like Vusimuzi Ket Matlala. Babalondenza, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
Meanwhile, at the Madlanga Commission, a witness has called for action to fix the rot within the criminal justice system. Witness B yesterday concluded her 2-day testimony before the Commission. President Cyril Ramaphosa established it in July to investigate allegations of corruption and collusion within the criminal justice system made public by KZN Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. Oren Singh reports.
During a testimony, Witness B revealed how the head of organised crime, Major General Richard Chibiri, allegedly colluded with criminally accused tender tycoon Vusimuzi Ket Matlala, and a money exchange was done between the pair. During her concluding remarks, Witness B urged the Commission to not only assist in addressing issues of corruption within SAPS, but also loopholes within legislation.
Sometimes it hurts because they tell you in your face that I will get bail again. I will never stay in prison.
She refers to challenges faced when investigating high-profile individuals.
When we're supposed to do the right thing, we're having challenges from the offices that they shouldn't be challenging us. From the offices, they should be supporting us.
She says she remains at peace knowing she has spoken on behalf of detectives across the country who face similar pushback in their investigations every day. The Commission of Inquiry continues today. Oren Singh, Eyewitness News.
8 Milnerton High School pupils charged with assault with intent to cause grievous bodily harm have been forced to hand in their cell phones in court. 6 of the accused were released on 2,000 rand bail, while others who are underage were released into the custody of their parents. The cell phones were handed in to investigators so that they can download any content which could be used as evidence in court. The group was captured on video, which has gone viral, hitting a fellow pupil with a belt, a stick and a pipe. Carlo Peterson reports.
8 Milnerton High School learners appeared in Cape Town Magistrates Court yesterday related to various incidents of alleged assault at the school. 8 learners this week lodged criminal complaints against the accused at Milnerton Police Station. National Prosecuting Authority spokesperson Eric Ntabazalila.
We can confirm that the 6 were granted bail of 2,000 rands each with strict conditions, which include that they must not directly or indirectly conduct the witnesses as well as the complainants.
The accused are also not allowed to enter the school premises and will write their exams at an alternative venue. The matter was postponed to the 20th of January for further investigation. Carlo Peterson, Eyewitness News.
Gold is trading at $4,119.39 an ounce. The rand is at 17.33 to the dollar, 23.09 to the pound, 20.12 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $65.66 a barrel.
There's queuing traffic already on the N1 North approaching the Diepkloof interchange. Please be on the lookout there while travelling on the Mike 1 North bumper-to-bumper traffic already between Boysons Road and the Crown interchange, and that's due to peak time delays as well.
And in your sport, the Bulls will appeal Jan Hendrik Wessel's 9-week ban. He misses tonight's URC game with Glasgow. At the Women's Cricket World Cup, India beat New Zealand to take the last spot in the semi-finals. And the Formula One leader Oscar Piastri claims he hasn't given much thought to Verstappen catching him in the championship.
A fine Friday in store for Gauteng. Johannesburg starting at 11 degrees, peaking at 30. Pretoria 12 and 31. Vereeniging 10 and 31 as well. The top story in EWN this hour. The DA is seeking legal advice on whether criminal charges could be pursued against Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi for allegedly endangering the lives of the province's crime prevention wardens.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
702 on 92.7 and 106 FM.
Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
And on DSTV channel 856.
Yeah, 8 minutes after 6. Good morning to you. I realise I've known Bongani Bingwa a long time. We're friends. But I don't sound anything like him, do I? Good morning. I'm Stephen Krutis in for Bongani Bingwa this morning through until 9 o'clock on 702 Breakfast. My honour and privilege to be with you this morning and to take your calls on 011 883 0702 and, of course, your voice notes as well. Looking forward to those, particularly on 072 702 1702. How are you doing this Friday morning? Getting into the weekend. The weather's looking very good over Joburg. There's a lot going on in Mzansi because the movie always continues. Kind of feel sometimes we just need one of those breaks from it all. Could someone just put the hat back on whoever needs it? And could we all just take a minute and go and do something else? Just chill over the weekend. I'm fairly certain that's not what's going to happen over the next little while. Plenty coming up in the program today. We'll update you with everything you need to know about what's happening with the AmaPanyaza. That, of course, is the Gauteng crime wardens. They're being disbanded. Curiously, the announcement made by the Gauteng Premier, Panyaza Lesufi, just hours before the Public Protector report, proving what we already know, that they should never have been formed in the first place. We'll talk a bit about that over the next hour. Conversations to come too around Judge Aubrey Ledwaba. He is the acting judge president in Gauteng. There's the claim made by witness A at the Madlanga Commission that either the judge or the prosecutor received 2.5 million rand to ensure KT Molefe was granted bail. Judge Ledwaba granted Molefe bail, and this astonishing statement from the Chief Justice Mandisa Maya last night, saying she had said to Ledwaba, maybe you should take special leave, and he says, no, I don't feel that I need to do that. I've done nothing wrong. Here's the thing for me, is someone comes to you and says, there's this claim, it's unsubstantiated at this point, we don't even know the identity of the person who's making it, we don't even know if it's about you. Would you take special leave? Staying in office is exactly what a guilty person would do. It's exactly what an innocent person would do too. I certainly would. If someone came to me and said, you know, you should take special leave, you never know when you come back. Could be years. You know what these things are like. Well, I look forward to your views on that this morning. I do think, though, the judiciary does need to be above reproach. So very complicated story, I suspect, is going to be developing through the morning. Good to hear from you this morning. Thank you for joining us on 702.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
All right, well, with me here, thank goodness, Amo and Moteo. Good morning. You know how the show works, right?
Good morning.
Excellent. Okay. Mateo, how are you doing?
Good. How are you, Stephen?
Yeah, all right, thank you. I'm looking forward to quite a busy weekend, actually, and the weather's looking very good.
Aren't you?
I am cycling for my sins. I have done it before. You crawl up Jan Smuts, and the only thing you think to yourself is, this is so frustrating. And the only people who are more frustrated is everybody who would normally be driving up Jan Smuts at this time.
So you're going to close all the roads then?
I'm going to close all the roads, me single-handedly. Stephen Curtis. Just me, alone. I'll be the reason they're closed for so long, though, that I can tell you.
Everyone's going to be waiting for you to
Indeed.
finish.
That's you cycle up past
You're
Hyde
quite the
Park.
cyclist, though. You're acting like probably gonna finish on a good time.
A good time, yeah. No, we're not having this conversation. We're not.
Isn't it that if you can't finish, there's a bus that comes to...
There is.
There is, so...
I've never used it. And I'm cycling with my younger brother.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm at an age where the fact that he's younger helps, but I'll never hear the end of it if I don't finish. I mean, never hear the end of it. Ever. Because, brothers are still like that. All right, plenty coming up on 7:02 Breakfast. Good morning. It's 12 minutes after 6.
7:02.
More than a radio station.
Let's walk the talk.
Mateo, you're obviously looking at the business desk.
Yeah, I want to ask a question to you and the 702 landers this morning. What's that store or brand that gets you to buy more than you need? So money might be tight, but when you walk in there, you can't help yourself. You just keep swiping and tapping your phone, and then before you know it, you've got a trolley full of things you walk out with.
It's the danger of that moment where it's kind of the vibe, it's the packaging. You think, I'll just get this, I'll just get that. It's fatal.
Yeah, I mean, fatal on your pockets, definitely. I mean, I walked into a retailer thinking I'll pick up 2 or 3 things, and then I think about the kids, then I would also probably need some juice later, and then it's just 2 weeks worth of groceries that I didn't need in the first place. So,
they sit in the fridge, they sit in the freezer. Amor, do you have a particular store in mind?
I'm glad I can't walk into a Shein store to buy.
Yes.
Because every time I'm ordering from there, there's always something to add. There's always products, accessories, and as well as usually the kids' clothing stores.
So you always have to clear your cart.
Yeah, I always have to clear my cart. And then if it's the walk-in stores, usually it's when I'm buying stuff for the kids' clothes or whatever, I'll always find something else to add on.
I'll tell you why I'm asking.
Go on, why are you asking?
No, I'll tell you.
You'll tell me?
Later.
Okay. So I'll tell you, for me, my wife was away recently. So on the Saturday, I was like, okay, I'm going to do some shopping and sort of store out stuff for the kids. And my wife comes back and my daughter just says, 13-year-old sarcasm arrived early in this one. And she just says to Mom, Dad only goes to Woolworths and then he buys it, all of it. I'm like, this is not true. That's not true. That's not what happens. Complete lies.
How many bags did you have?
No, Mateo. Why do you let the facts come in here?
Fair question. I've opened my own commission.
3, 4. No, I'm not wearing a hat. You can't ask me questions.
Ivovo and the team, Sam from Johannesburg. Please, it's a Friday today. Let the team sing. It's a Friday. Let Amo and Mateo sing. Thank you, Sam from Joburg.
Joining us today, aren't you?
I don't sing. I got thrown out of the choir before my voice broke. I'm not making this up.
You tried.
Well, I don't know what it was.
You can give it a try again.
No, this has been done. No,
it's fine. Count us down. We'll sing.
Okay, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's a Friday. It's a Friday. It's a Friday.
Weather.
Well, things I just can't do, and that would have to be one of them, I've got to tell you. All right, well, it's a fine day in store for Gauteng. Gauteng's in fine voices, if you heard this morning. Joburg starting 11 degrees, peaking at 30 degrees later. Tshwane, 12 and 31. Vereeniging, 10 and 31. Bombela, 10 and 30. If you're heading down the N1 to Mangaung, Bloemfontein, 13 and 30. Durban today, fine, moderate southwesterly winds starting at a low of 19, peaking at 25 degrees. Gqeberha is 15 and 23. East London is 18 and 24. And a fine day is also expected for Cape Town. There's a fresh southerly breeze, a low of 14 and a high of 24. Summer is here in Gauteng. Cape Town, just a little bit behind, as always.
EWN Traffic.
What's the latest, Amo? Eyewitness News Traffic is brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now. You could save on car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 Rand. Amo, what's the latest?
Well, we've got delays, Stephen, on the N1 North between the N12 exit and the Deep Kloof interchange. While traveling within these areas, Eldorado Park and Devland, we've got roadworks taking place along the Golden Highway, and they're causing heavy traffic volumes. you usually use this route towards areas like Meredale as well as Southgate, please be patient along this route because the one lane that is open to traffic is being used as a two-way stop-and-go system there. And if you are traveling on the M1 North, we've got delays between Boysons and the Crown Interchange. Peak time delays piling up here. And there's also queuing traffic in four ways along Winnie Mandela Drive between Vetkoppen Road and Leslie. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. The Outsurance pointsmen know that every car on the road carries a story. There's a car with a family driving to their new home, carrying boxes stacked with plates and toys and memories. The Outsurance pointsmen know it's not just a car in traffic, it's a new beginning, a fresh start on the move. Every story is different and every story matters. That's why the Outsurance pointsmen have been doing what they do since 2005 in proud partnership with 702. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
702. Serving the 702 family in 702 land, including those of you in Sasolburg. Sasolburg was established in 1954 to house Sasol employees who were constructing an oil from coal refinery in the area. Due to the country's lack of petroleum resources, the Sasol oil from coal plant became a strategic priority of the apartheid government. In 1980, Sasol was attacked by Umkhonto weSizwe, an event depicted in the 2006 film Catch a Fire. 702. Let's walk the talk across 702 land, including Sasolburg.
Why wait? Sell your ride now and enjoy instant payment with a seamless experience. We Buy Cars isn't playing when it comes to buying cars. It's faster and easier than you think. Curious about what they'll offer? Visit webuycars.co.za today. Looking for your next ride? Explore a massive range of cars, bikes, boats, buckies, and more online or in store. We Buy Cars, the best way.
Flight Centre's Big Red Sale is back, 21 October to 14 November. Save up to 50% on tours, 35% on cruises, and massive deals on Thailand, Mauritius, and the Maldives. Even local flights from 1,900 Rand return. Now that's a win. Plus, 2 kids stay and eat free on selected breaks. The world's waiting. The deals are calling. So, get to your nearest Flight Centre store today. T's and C's apply. Flight Centre, your centre for travel.
Lift is turning 5 and we're celebrating with South Africa. Back in 2020, the public chose our name, and now 5 years later, Lift is inviting you to design a tale of a real Airbus A320. That's right, your design could take to the skies on one of our aircraft. And the best part? The winning designer gets flights for a whole year. Don't miss your chance to leave your mark on South African skies. Visit lift.co.za to enter today. T's and C's apply.
You might not always notice us, but your safety is our priority. From the moment you step out of your home, drop your child at school, or arrive at work, when you trust someone to cut a new set of keys or attend a packed stadium event. From VIP protection to safeguarding goods and property, your security matters to us. Choose wisely. Choose right. Only use CIRA accredited security service providers. CIRA, safer homes, safer businesses, safer communities.
The Money Show.
Weekday evenings at 6.
Dr. Musa Malwandla is the Co-Chief Investment Officer of Differential Capital. We're talking about whether or not you should really skip the boom and keep your money in cash or not.
In the long term, equity market generally rewards you a lot more than cash ever will. What is generally true is that the longer you hold on to any instrument, regardless of timing of when you enter the market, so the longer you hold on, the more time diversification you have.
The Money Show
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
The Money Show, Stephen Curtis, is brought to you by ABSA Corporate and Investment Banking, proud sponsor of the ABSA Africa Financial Markets Index 2025. The insights to guide you through Africa's financial landscapes are waiting for you. ABSA is an authorized FSP and a registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Hey, morning motel and the 702 landers. Getting now the shop that I don't like going into because I end up buying more than I should. Cape Union. Nah? I go there planning to buy one winter jacket. cheeky, those little things that they have at the counter. You have these little Victory Knox knives there. You have these metal cut holders. You have these little pocket knives. You have all these little things that are at the counter. And I'm like, man, it's just 200 rand. It's just 50 rand. And then you end up buying like, oh shoot. Yeah? Yeah, no, that's the worst shop I don't like to go into, but I love it.
Oh, gadget man like me.
Dublin.
Morning, guys. The brand has to be Woolies. I mean, you cannot walk into a Woolies and buy just the thing you intended to buy. I mean, you've got to give them kudos for doing it so well, from packaging to appearance of the goods and just the quality. Got to be Woolies.
Yeah, I love the gadgets. I mean, yeah, me too.
You agree on Woolies?
I'm kind of sold on Woolies. I don't think I'm allowed in Cape Union Mart anymore. I think my permission to enter was rescinded. Not by Cape Union Mart, by higher authority.
Banned.
Yeah, but gadgets, man, gadgets. Like, why did you do this? Why did you? We don't need that. All of those things.
And it's always at the point of sale, when you're
Yes.
about to pay and you're like, maybe I do need an extra cap or extra bit of socks before I hike. And then next thing you know.
Well, there's a reason also in all of the main chains why when you have to go through to pay, how 20th century are we, everything's at childhood level. Have you noticed? Like it's all the sweets and the chips are where the kiddies can see them. 22 minutes after 6, good morning.
Singing on a Friday, my brother. We are singing on a Friday. I was worried. I was about to call General Mkonazi to investigate the singing part. Why are we not singing? Has the money for the song It's a Friday been eaten, been chowed by Bongani Bingwa? What happened to our singing money? It's the Friday. It's the Friday. Baba from the Fad, have a wonderful day.
702.
Add your voice.
Have your say.
Let's walk the talk.
I'm still laughing, but thanks very much indeed. All right, 5 things you need to know this morning, 23 after 6. I'm Stephen in for Bongani this morning. Well, South Africa will find out today whether we'll be removed from the Financial Action Task Force grey list. You may remember back in February 2023, seems so long ago, we were put on the grey list. Our controls against money laundering and terrorism financing were considered weak. The Financial Action Task Force confirmed in June that we had met all the 22 required reforms. They carried out an on-site review. Markets are expecting that we'll come off the grey list. Markets aren't always right, Mateo. So experts say we shouldn't see a big surprise if it does happen, but it is important. Today, also United Nations Day, the founding of the UN in 1945, the Charter officially coming into force then. We forget how important the United Nations is, how much it does, where would we be without it, and how weak is it today and why? You know why. You know who to blame. I'm not going to say any more. In the US, a major FBI investigation into mafia-linked gambling and game fixing, leading to the arrest of the NBA star Terry Rozier and the coach of the Portland Trail Blazers, Chauncey Billups. Both have been placed on leave by the league. Doesn't say it's special leave here. Adam Gilchrist will have more for this on Worldview. And I can't think of that without thinking of Hansi Cronje. I mean, isn't that immediately who you think of when that sort of thing happens? Here at home, Baby Savers South Africa, they're protesting at the Union Buildings in Tshwane. They're opposing proposed changes by the Department of Social Development that would criminalize baby box facilities. These boxes have been around for a long time. Basically, it's a safe place where a mum or whoever who can't look after their baby actually puts the baby in the box and someone comes to check and then the baby is saved from there. I find this ridiculous. I have to say, I'm with the protesters here. I don't see why the Social Development Department would try and do this. I mean, I'm not sure it's up to them anyway. Surely it's a health department issue. But I'm firmly in the corner of the protesters here. And then today we also celebrate the birthday of Dr. Tlina Mhlophe, the storyteller, the writer, the playwright, the actress. I've spoken to her several times. She really is incredible. She has an ability, it's kind of spellbinding, an ability to just make you think about things in so many different ways. And her birthday is now South Africa's Storytelling Day. I've been thinking a bit about stories that have sat with me for a long time. And I was thinking actually Dr. Seuss had a line. And I was thinking about whether you have a story from your childhood. But Dr. Seuss has a book called Places Where You'll Go. And the line that stays with me, and I read it to my children, I read it to them many times. I'm afraid that sometimes you'll play lonely games too. Games you can't win because you'll play against you. And the image is of a young child sort of bouncing a ball into a mirror. and it's just so evocative.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you have
It
one?
is indeed. No, you know what? My childhood books have sort of like been erased in my memory because
Yeah.
of my current children's books that I'm reading for them now, or that they are reading now. And certainly my favorite has to be Solomon the Lion. It's a book that I bought for my son, the first book that he ever read for himself, word by word.
Wow.
By Christina Jones. It's a very beautiful book about Solomon the Lion who couldn't fall asleep at night.
Oh.
It's very interesting. I love it. And I think it'll stick with me forever. I'm going to frame that book.
That moment when they can read a book for themselves,
Mm.
especially boys, because you always wonder, are they ever going to catch up?
I think when I think about Gnahlobe, the one thing I do remember from my childhood is Kwasuka Sugela and you say Kosi, which is when once upon a time, basically. And you know, she used to capture you with those stories, and you'd sit there just listening to all the lion and the mouse and all Tselane and all the stories that are folklore in South Africa, but really, really just touching.
She has a real gift. I mean, something that's extraordinary. 5 things you need to know this Friday morning.
We'd like to thank the person who emphasized that we need to sing. My son and I look forward to the singing on a Friday morning. Thank you, Muteo and Amu and you, Stephen, for providing the moral support.
702.
The newspapers.
Safiso, nice to see you. Good morning.
People are not happy with you, Stephen.
No, it's just the start. It's only going to go downhill from here.
All right, let's take a look at the newspapers quickly. Mail and Guardian is running a story on their front page about Beit Cele. They've got a picture of him there with his famous hat. Cele buries Mkunu. This follows his testimony in Parliament before the ad hoc committee yesterday. And the Sowetan on their front page just goes at great lengths explaining some of the evidence that he gave and the testimony about how an ex-police minister says that the alleged crime boss told him his 360 million rand SAPS tender was to bankroll suspended minister's ANC presidency campaign. But one of the interesting things that caught my attention yesterday while I was watching was how Parliament's inquiry also was told that 23 former Army Special Task Force members were employed by Ket Matlala Security Company. This was when Cele says that he met with Ket Matlala somewhere in Durban, if I'm not mistaken, and he recognized familiar faces, and he said, hey, hold on, weren't you guys part of the task force or the special force that used to work for the army? And they said, yes, we are committed to the badge, but the badge is not committed to us because we're not getting paid. So we decided to jump ship and join the private sector. And Orange Singh, earlier this year, our senior reporter, actually wrote a story about that, how the SAPS is at great lengths to claw back those members who have jumped ship to the private sector because they're saying public sector is not paying them very well.
Yeah, it's such a big issue. And obviously, we kind of all knew the ANC leadership was somehow going to get involved in this. Safiso Zulu, thanks very much indeed.
EWN Business.
Mateo, good morning. What are you leading with this morning?
Well, I'm talking about Clicks. That's the store that everybody walks into and walks out with big bags. Health and beauty retailer Clicks delivering a 14% increase in profits despite a tough economic period. The group says although money is tight for customers, it was able to get them into their stores, more than 900 of them now. The group said that is committed to achieving its medium target of 1,200 stores and opening 10 to 15 Unicare specialized pharmacies. Clicks Group saw turnover rise to 47 billion rand with retail turnover of 6% and distribution turnover of more than 5%. And customers remain loyal to the firm with 12.6 million active loyalty members that contributed to about 82% of sales at Clicks. The group says loyalty members received over 850 million rand in cash back, bringing a total rewards paid to customers over the past 30 years to 7.5 billion rand. Now, asked about the growing competition in the health retail segment, Clicks CEO Bettina Engelbrecht told News 24 that the sprouting of new players just shows how well Clicks has done in the space. But with the addition of 60 new pharmacies, Clicks is by far the largest retail pharmacy group in South Africa. Everybody's definitely in their rearview mirror. Looking at the markets and how they worked out yesterday, better day for the JSE. All share up 1,906 points. Industrials was stronger. Banking stocks also in the green, with mining shares up 4.8%. A good day for Advertisements. They were up 6% yesterday. Premium Foods up 5%, with Sasol getting gains of 17%. I'll tell you about that story a bit later. The rand at this hour, 17 rand 33 against the US dollar, up 0.5%. At 20 rand 11 cents against the euro, and at 23 rand 5 cents against the British pound. Price of gold at $4,117 an ounce, or platinum is at $1,583. Brent crude at $64.88 a barrel. More business after 7.
Mateo, thank you. Just after 6:30, Stephen in for Bongani Bingwa. Good morning. Tshwane and the water tankers.
That's right, Stephen. The city of Tshwane says it's investigating 120 million rand of water tanker invoices for possible fraud. The Metro made the announcement yesterday during a media briefing in Pretoria, where it explained its expenditure on water tankers. Officials say increased water outages have directly led to spending more on the tankers, and Finance MMC Eugene Modise says they've identified some questionable invoices from contractors.
We have rejected invoices to the tune of 120 million rands. That demonstrates that we have conducted a thorough investigation.
Meanwhile, the DA Celia Brink has laid a complaint with the public protector to investigate the municipality water tanker saga.
Information at the DA's disposal, in fact, shows that for most of the money that was paid by Tshwane in 2025 on water tankers, there was no documentary evidence that those services were requested by the city or delivered, raising the possibility of large-scale fraud.
8 Milnerton High School pupils charged with assault with intent to cause grievous bodily harm have been forced to hand in their cell phones in court in Cape Town. 6 of the accused were released on 2,000 rand bail, while 2 other underage boys were released into the custody of their parents. The cell phones were handed to investigators to download any content which could be used as evidence in court. The group was captured on video hitting a fellow pupil with a belt, a stick and a pipe. Carlo Peterson reports.
8 Milnerton High School learners appeared in Cape Town Magistrates Court yesterday related to various incidents of alleged assault at the school. 8 learners this week lodged criminal complaints against the accused at Milnerton Police Station. National Prosecuting Authority spokesperson Eric Ntabazalila.
We can confirm that the 6 were granted bail of 2,000 rands each with strict conditions, which include that they must not directly or indirectly contact the witnesses as well as the complainants.
The accused are also not allowed to enter the school premises and will write their exams at an alternative venue. The matter was postponed to the 20th of January for further investigation. Carlo Peterson, Eyewitness News.
Cape Town police are searching for 4 inmates who escaped custody at the Wynberg Magistrates Court. The prisoners are originally part of a 6-man group who escaped on Monday, but 2 were rearrested on the same day. An investigation is ongoing to determine how the escape happened, but police say they are not ruling out an inside job. The DA's Nicholas Hotzel has criticized the criminal justice system for a lack of tight measures to track inmates.
Unfortunately, we're not entirely sure how the recent escape happened. I find it highly suspicious that 6 people were able to escape, but the bottom line is that these matters are becoming more and more prevalent, and it is certainly something that we should be looking at and asking in-depth questions about.
And EU leaders have agreed to help support Ukraine's financial needs for the next 2 years, but it stopped short of releasing billions of euros in frozen Russian cash to help fund the country's defense. A decision to use 140 billion euros in Russian assets held in a Belgian clearinghouse was pushed back until this December after concerns were raised by Belgium. The controversial move would be on top of sanctions the bloc has imposed on Russia, the latest targeting the Kremlin's oil revenues. The Brussels meeting comes ahead of a London summit today, where Prime Minister Keir Starmer will urge European leaders to boost long-range missile supplies to Ukraine. A fine Friday in store for Gauteng. The temperatures are at lows of 10 and 11 degrees, peaking at highs between 30 and 31.
And in the traffic, we've got peak time delays on the M1 North between Boyson's Road and Carr Street. There's also queuing traffic on Winnie Mandela Drive. This is in the Fourways area between Witkoppen Road and Leslie Avenue.
The top story this hour, the city of Tshwane says it's investigating 120 million rand of water tanker invoices for possible fraud.
At the heart of global conversations shaping our future, Africa's voice is more important than ever. As proud lead sponsor of the B20, the Standard Bank Group is honored to showcase the continent's growth, partnerships, and potential on the world stage. Because driving Africa's growth isn't just our ambition, it's our purpose. Tune in every Monday from 3 p.m. for the Standard Bank B20 In Brief for key insights and updates around the B20. Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
Mzansi is buzzing after 2 lucky players hit it lucky on Tuesday, scooping over 190 million rand in total jackpots. Our Powerball winner bagged a life-changing jackpot of over 163 million rand. And the Powerball Plus jackpot winner took home over 31 million rand. Both tickets were bought on banking apps. Play your favorite national lottery game and you could be next. Panda, Pusha, play. Players must be 18 years old, play responsibly. E2 is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
The South African Future Trust Summit is back and bolder than ever. This year, Standard Bank joins as headline sponsor, underscoring the summit's role as South Africa's leading platform for entrepreneurship. On 5 and 6 November at the Sandton Convention Center, connect with leading entrepreneurs, investors, and change makers. This is where bold ideas meet transformative investments. Get your tickets now at summits.southafricanfuturetrust.org in partnership with 702.
Running a business is tough. You need tools that just work. That's why more South African businesses are switching to Mac. At iStore, we make it easy with 4,000 rands in added value when you switch. That's 3 years extended warranty and remote tech support, leaving you to focus on everything else. Switch to Mac with iStore, your expert partner. T's and C's apply. Mac at iStore. Run smooth as business should.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Good morning, guys. Great show as always. Happy Friday. Someone here in Joburg. My question to the Chief Justice is that why don't they just put the judges that are under investigation on suspension? Like the judge that recently gave this 400,000 bail to this Molefe guy. That judge is currently under investigation by the JSC, but he's still doing his job. So I believe, in my opinion, that causes questions to the judiciary and brings the whole organization into disrepute. Thank you, guys. Great show. Nice weekend.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, I suppose the reason for that is that to suspend a judge actually requires a whole process of its own, and the president has to do it. It's a very complex process and goes on and on and on. Remember, he's not a judge anymore, but remember Dr. John Hlophe and how long that went on for. I mean, that just took forever just to get a suspension. So I think that's the reason. But as I say, I mean, if someone came to me and said, we have evidence from someone whose name we don't know that you or someone else did the wrong thing, well, then I don't know if I would step down so quickly. I mean, who knows? And this is the problem. And isn't this also the problem, the entire problem with all of these commissions? Are people are coming and saying things, and just because they say them there doesn't mean that it's true. And do you think the commissions are going to come back in 6 months and give you a finding? Not a chance. It's going to take forever. We're going to be talking about this in 3 years' time. Watch. Stephen and for Bongani, 21 minutes to 7.
Morning, 72 Landers. So I hope what I'm about to say does not make me sound like a shopaholic. But if I am, then yeah, probably I need help. The stores that I can't resist, definitely H&M. I don't know why. My money just vanishes.
Aye.
At this point in time, I feel like they must just take my card. Give me my salary, just a portion of it, but just take my card. Because I love shopping there. I think their clothes are just wonderful. I'm able to style them well for work and casual. Then for my groceries, Woolies, take my money. There's just something, I agree with the other listeners as well. You just will not be able to buy one thing and get out. It's always more. Nani from the East End. Have a great show.
Yeah, morning, Steve. It's got to be Woolies. I'm telling you, I also can't go in there and be, fixed on my budget. Yeah, I loosen a bit, and that bit is too much. Yeah, it's got to be Woolies. Edgar, thank you.
Yeah, it's amazing how often Woolies is coming through here. Woolies, by the way, what's called their in-store inflation is around 5%, whereas for ShopRite's 1.9%. And doesn't that tell you how things are? Eh? It tells you how that model is succeeding. 20 minutes to 7.
EWN Sport.
Cindy Paluta, good morning.
Good morning, Stephen.
You have a shop that you can't resist? Is it the Blue Bills merchandise shop? No. No.
Well, Stephen, you're putting me on the spot because how do I narrow it down?
I see. Right.
Oh, I'm so bad. Like, literally.
One of those things that happens.
Yeah.
The latest from rugby. I mean, it's a ball sport, apparently.
Yes, all the ball jokes are happening this morning and over the last 24 hours because we kind of heard yesterday that it was unconfirmed reports, but it was being reported that Jan-Hendrik Wessels of the Bulls had been suspended for 9 weeks, but we weren't sure why. And of course, now the world's having a great, fit, big ball of a time. They've all come to the ball because he's been banned for 9 weeks for apparently groping. We'll put groping in inverted commas because it's. I mean, they go into the detail on the rugby website, and that was in the Bulls game on the weekend, the URC game where they played against Connacht, and apparently he took a liking to Josh Murphy.
And there's no video evidence. I mean, you would think for a 9-week ban, you would sort of want that.
Right. So this is where the Bulls are now saying, okay, hang on, we're going to appeal this because they're literally going on the footage from the match, and the footage from the match shows nothing.
Yeah.
There's no new footage. There's no, here's the evidence. There's no factual, concrete evidence that people were groped. So then Rassie took to Twitter, which I can't repeat because he used a couple of swear words, to say, well, they're not only trying to beat us on the field, they're also trying to beat us in the boardroom. So, this is absolute nonsense because I'm not denying or disputing that it happened. I'm not taking that away from Josh Murphy. But what they're saying is, well, then we could say anything could have happened off video.
Yeah.
So now you might be in a World Cup, in a group game, and now we're just going to claim that this guy did this to this guy with no video evidence. And I think that's the danger of where we are with the rugby.
Oh, it's going to get very, very interesting from here.
Well, also what was lovely from yesterday was the Proteas men thrashing Pakistan by 8 wickets. I didn't see that coming after the opening day's play. I must be honest. It was the second test, so the series is drawn. Maharaj was named player of the match and Senarem Muthsami was player of the series. The match in part was also won by Rabada, who saved the SA innings with a knock of 71 from 61.
Not just a fast bowler, hey?
Yeah, an all-rounder.
Yeah, suddenly.
Here's Rabada.
Playing in the subcontinent is really difficult. Whenever you have a subcontinent tour, everyone's minds just start asking a ton of questions. We know that the subcontinent teams are going to make the pitches turn because we haven't grown up in these types of conditions. The fast bowlers as well, it is quite tricky. So it's nice to win against Pakistan in Pakistan. So that will give us some confidence.
Australia beat India by 2 wickets in the second ODI to win the 3-match series. At the Women's Cricket World Cup, India beating New Zealand by 53 runs in the Duckworth-Lewis method. They joined South Africa, Australia and England in the semi-finals. Pressure's on for F1 Championship leader Oscar Piastri, who just 5 weeks ago had a 34-point championship lead, but going into Mexico leads Norris by just 14 points, with Verstappen only 40 points off the pace. Piastri apparently hasn't given any thought to Verstappen catching him.
There's no benefit for me in worrying about that or focusing on that. The thing that's going to help me win this championship is trying to get the most out of myself, the most out of the car, and worrying about anyone else on the grid is not focusing on that. So he's there, he's in the fight, but ultimately that doesn't change how I'm going to approach my racing.
And women's marathon record holder Ruth Chepngetich is banned for 3 years after testing positive for a banned substance. Her world record time predates when the sample was used, so her record will stand. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
Psst. Hey, no longer feeling like the man you used to be?
The man who has inside jokes with complete strangers.
The fact is, 95% of men with low testosterone go untreated.
Vitamin High Performance Supplements for men helps recharge energy, regain lean muscle, and reload performance. Available at all good pharmacies and Vitalamin.co.za.
Vitalamin. Don't get older. Get better.
Sunrail has reconstructed the R21 from Pomona Interchange to Olifantsfontein Interchange.
This important corridor, carrying over 45,000 vehicles daily, is critical to supporting economic activity, and these upgrades ensure efficient connectivity to OR Tambo International Airport and major economic hubs. This 309 million rand project created jobs and supported local businesses. The work included full-depth mill and replace of asphalt base and surfacing on slow lanes, mill and replace of asphalt surfacing on fast lanes, ultra-thin friction course UTFC resurfacing over all lanes, replacement of bridge joints and resurfacing of ramps and crossroads to make travel smoother. Sunrail, an agency of the Department of Transport.
Let's count backward. 5. Insurance. 4. Pineapple. 3. Insurance. 2. Pineapple. 1. You're under. Pineapple FSP 48650 is underwritten by Omart Insure Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP.
The Brainy Kids of the Whiz Quiz
On 702.
Good morning, Uncle Steve. My name is Nonku. I am 13 years old. I go to Courtney House International School, and when I grow up, I would like to be an oncologist. I'm super excited to play the Whiz Quiz with you today. Bye.
Nonku, looking forward to playing with you. We'll talk to you in just a moment.
It's a Friday, it's a Friday, it's a Friday. Amo, you redeemed yourself. I see when Bongani is not there. You on key.
EWN Traffic.
I wouldn't know if you were on key or not.
I think today I really was on key. I was ready I came ready.
Music is not my thing.
It's not my thing either. I love it, love hearing it, love dancing to it, but the singing part.
What's happening in the traffic?
Well, we've got an accident reported on the N1 North. It's right after Malibongwe Drive. It's causing heavy traffic volumes already. Please be on the lookout there while traveling on the N3 North. Roadworks are back up again right near the Baklu interchange. Delays coming out of Marlborough Drive. While traveling on Morfontein Road, we've got an accident reported. It's right near Parkland Drive. It's causing delays. Please be on the lookout there and approach with care. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Stamino Grow is a 5-in-1 supplement with amino acids, antioxidants, B vitamins, and other essential vitamins and minerals that help promote energy, well-being, immune defense, and mental vitality. Stamino Grow, 22 years of supporting Mzansi, ranked amongst the top 5 best-performing multivitamin brands in SA. Stamino Grow, grow for it.
Medical care, like music, needs continuity, a steady rhythm and pattern. Patients attended to on time. Medication taken as prescribed. Cut the rhythm, and it falls apart. Right now, global funding cuts are restricting access to healthcare. With your support, Doctors Without Borders can continue to provide medical care to communities worldwide. Because medicine, like music, only works when uninterrupted. Doctors Without Borders, we go there.
702.
Coming up at 7:15, the big interview.
Business Outsurance are experts in business insurance for real estate agencies, law firms, computer services, and more. Yakolin?
We saved a lot of money when we switched over from another insurance company to Business Outsurance. We've had some claims and they were friendly and efficient and paid out when they promised.
Switch to Business Outsurance and you could get a massive 20% discount on your business insurance premium. Visit outsurance.co.za. Switch and save today. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
Who is the whizziest of them all?
It's the Whiz Quiz on 702.
Well, Nonku is 13. She's at Courtney House International. When she's big, she wants to be an oncologist. Nonku, good morning. How are you feeling this morning?
I'm nervous and excited.
I think that's the right answer, Nonku. I'll be nervous too. I'll be excited too. Okay, you know how it works. For every answer you get correct, you get 100 Rand. If you get them all right, you get 10,000 Rand. Nonku, you ready to go?
Yes.
Okay. KG, start the clock. Spell the word traffic.
TRAFFIC.
Correct. In maths, what is 35 times 2?
70.
Correct. What is the capital city of France?
Paris.
Correct. Give the name of the 8th month of the year.
August.
Correct. True or false? A leopard is a predator.
True.
Correct. Which province does not lie on an ocean? The Eastern Cape or Mpumalanga?
Mpumalanga.
Correct. What is H2O more commonly known as?
Water.
Correct. How many days are there in a leap year?
366.
Yes. Which farm animals' young are called colts or fillies? Oh. All right, Nonku, we ran out of time there. We're just looking at the numbers there. Nonku, you got 8 correct. You win 800 Rand. Nonku, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nonku. I look forward to the oncology degree later in life. Nonku, thank you. Congratulations to you. She got 8 correct. 9 minutes to 7.
The brainy kids of the Whiz Quiz.
On 702.
Coming up in the next hour, what's the question? It's brought to you by OUTsurance. Up to 3,000 Rand in cash is up for grabs. All you need to do is send us an answer based on anything that piqued your interest on the show, and you could win 1,000 Rand. Simply WhatsApp your name and that answer to 072 702 1702. And of course, a little later, someone else will ask the question to win 2,000 Rand. Remember, you stand a better chance of being selected to give us today's answer if you've SMS'd out to OUTsurance and got yourself a quote. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on car insurance.
702.
The Political Desk.
8 minutes now to 7 the time. Well, I have to say, maybe it's just me, but I found it almost cowardly the way in which the Gauteng Premier, Panyaza Lesufi, cancelled the Crime Wardens project, the AmaPanyaza. He cancelled it just hours before the Public Protector released her report, confirming what we all knew. The entire thing was illegal all along. You know, a province cannot have a police service or a police force. National government can, metros can. And I have to say, Panyaza Lesufi must have known that the announcement was coming. Mark Hayward is a social justice activist. Mark, good morning. Good to talk to you again.
Morning, Stephen. Nice to speak to you too.
Obviously, this finding by the Public Protector came as no surprise to you. The AmaPanyaza were illegal all the time.
Yep. The AmaPanyaza were set up in early 2023. There was no legal authority to do it. But Premier Lesufi had decided that this was the way to fight crime in Gauteng, despite ample advice that it wasn't the best way to go about it. He put a major budget behind the AmaPanyaza, shifted money, over 2 billion Rand. The AmaPanyaza were poorly and rapidly trained and deployed, and apparently were involved in over 50,000 operations. So all of this was going on, but all of it was taking place without any legal basis. So, Stephen, my feeling is that the Public Protector's report, which is looking at a fairly narrow issue, which is just was the crime prevention wardens or an AmaPanyaza set up legally, raises many, many more questions that now need to be looked into.
I can't help but feel that the Gauteng provincial government's been opened up to so much litigation here in two ways. One is, if, and I must say there have been very few cases of this, but they might well have happened, if one of the crime wardens abused their position against somebody, if they assaulted someone in the course of making an arrest or something like that, not that they have the power to arrest, that would be one issue. The other would be the crime wardens themselves, thrown in to the fight against crime, very difficult, often very dangerous, with hardly any training. If I were them, I would be thinking, well, actually, I haven't been treated properly here.
So let me deal with the second point first. Panyaza now has a problem on his hands, which is that he has to take 6,000 plus crime wardens and convert them into traffic wardens. That's the order of the Public Protector. So Gauteng is about to suddenly have a glut of traffic wardens. But that itself has major cost implications because traffic wardens are obviously properly trained. They have to have proper qualifications. So he's got a problem on his hand. But the first point you raised, Stephen, is also very true because when I was working at the Daily Maverick a couple of years ago and reporting on the AmaPanyaza, one of the things we reported on was a young man who was severely assaulted by the AmaPanyaza, and who was hospitalized, had to undergo surgery. And so now I would say that he has a much stronger claim post this public protector report than he did before.
There's so much that's going to happen here. What do you make of Lesufi cancelling the project, doing interviews and things? No, he must have known. I mean, he must have known that the public protector finding was coming. I thought it was a little bit cowardly, frankly.
No, it is cowardly. I mean, he did know, because the public protector shares her findings before making them public and gives the person being investigated an opportunity to respond to the findings. So he would have been well aware that this report, probably exactly when it was going to be made public. So, you know, I'm afraid it's typical Premier Lesufi, which is launch things in a kind of populist blaze, making all sorts of unsubstantiated claims about the impact that it's going to have, then close them down at a later stage or let them just kind of drift away, and sugarcoat it and try and put a kind of brave face on it. I mean, I've heard him saying that this is actually authorization for a new force. Those were his words, a new force. Now we have authorization to set up a new force. All of it is playing loose with the truth, unfortunately.
There is, and what he was responding to is an urgent desire for justice in Gauteng. I mean, for years, you know, I mean, the number plates have always been called Gangster's Paradise. I mean, it sounds more and more kind of true in some ways. There is an urgent need to deal with crime. There might be specific parts of it that require a kind of Gauteng-specific response. This is something that we can't ignore and something that we need to do properly.
No, completely. I mean, you and I know, we live here. Gauteng is unfortunately, you know, riddled with crime and with very serious crime. We need better strategies to tackle the crime. The point is, though, that responding to crime should not be a kind of knee-jerk response. It should be listening to experts. It should be investing in existing infrastructure and policing, and strengthening community policing. So there's plenty that can be done. It's just that taking the crisis of crime, Panyaza Lesufi decided to embark on his own thing. And at the end of the day, it has been at the cost of crime prevention, the cost of justice, and the cost of a lot of money.
Mark Hayward, thanks very much indeed. Really appreciate it. The social justice activist on the line there. And I just keep coming back to this. I think there's something a bit, cowardly. You do a series of interviews as the Gauteng Premier. You say, I'm cancelling this, and then we get the report. I mean, if you had come out and said, look, the public protector is about to announce this, I think it would have looked completely different. If it had been an announcement from the public protector, and then you immediately go and, you know, do it a minute afterwards and say, I'll comply. Well, that's different. But there's something a bit strange about this. Your thoughts, I'd be very interested in what you think on 072 702 1702.
702. Coming up, the big interview.
Well, more to come on the Gauteng Acting Judge President Aubrey Ledwaba, someone who's been on the bench for many years. The sort of claim comes out of the Madlanga Commission from one of the witnesses, known only as Witness A, essentially saying, look, we know money was put aside for bribes to get KT Molefe bail. KT Molefe was given bail, but we don't know if it was the prosecutor or the judge. And the Chief Justice, I wouldn't want to be in her position on this, says to him, well, would you like to take special leave? He says no. I don't know what you would do in that position. We'll get a bit more on that because I think it is an important conversation. And I think we also need to understand exactly what happened and why. But we also got to be careful about just reacting to untested evidence. And this is really where we are. I think that's really, frankly, the problem. So, we'll find out more a little about that. We'll speak to Dr. Shadi Makhanwe, lecturer in constitutional law, governance and legislative oversight at the Wits School of Law. And then just get another take on what Becky Cele, the former police minister, has been saying. Chad Thomas has been watching it all. I still don't get why a former police minister would be speaking to someone like Kat Matlala and still speaking to him when Kat Matlala asks you to do something illegal. Good morning. Stephen in for Bongani. You're with 702. 702 Breakfast. It's 7 o'clock.
This is EWN.
South Africans saddled with more shocking information of alleged corruption in the law enforcement sector. And who will the ANC convince to fight a motion of no confidence against Panyaza? Good morning, I am Sfiso Zulu. Major developments continue to emerge surrounding the investigations of alleged corruption within the country's justice system. We begin here. Gauteng Acting Judge President Aubrey Ledwaba has asked to appear before the Madlanga Commission to give his side of the story about granting bail to alleged crime kingpin Katiso Katie Molefe. An SAPS investigating officer, witness A, this week during his testimony, alleged that Molefe paid 2.5 million rand for his release on bail, suggesting that Ledwaba may have benefited. Molefe was released on bail in June after he appealed a decision by the Vereniging Magistrates Court. He was charged with multiple counts of murder and conspiracy to commit murder linked to the killing of musicians and entertainers, including Opa Sifokwa, known as DJ Sambodi. Homozo Modise reports.
While witness A at the Madlanga Commission did not know if and how much in bribes may have been allegedly given to Judge Aubrey Ledwaba, he heavily scrutinized the decision to grant Katiso KT Molefe bail, suggesting that he benefited from the decision. In a statement, the Office of the Chief Justice says Justice Mandisa Maya discussed the matter with Ledwaba and the possibility of granting him special leave pending the finalization of the Madlanga Commission. The OCJ says Ledwaba denies receiving money to grant Molefe bail and says he'll not be taking special leave. Ledwaba says he's seeking legal advice and wishes to appear before the Madlanga Commission to set the record straight. Homozo Modise, Eyewitness News.
Meanwhile, the Madlanga Commission has also heard that late Pretoria taxi boss Johannesburg Mswazi was allegedly the leader of a criminal network referred to as the Firm, which the so-called Big Five cartel operates under. An organized crime officer revealed the information on day 2 of her testimony at the inquiry yesterday. Witness B was part of a team uncovering the inner workings of the Big Five cartel, which comprises of Tembisa alleged crime kingpin Vusmuzi Ket Matlala and attempted murder accused Katiso Katie Molefe. Oren Singh reports.
Johannesburg Mswazi Msibi, a well-known and feared taxi boss, died in January last year following a short illness. He's been accused of being the president of a dangerous criminal network referred to as the Firm and in some instances the Farm. Yesterday, Witness B, a member of organized crime, told the Madlanga Commission that the Big Five cartel, a syndicate which has allegedly captured the criminal justice system in Gauteng, operates under the umbrella of the Firm.
Mostly the word firm you will hear from the hitmen when they talk amongst themselves, saying we are the best in the firm.
She outlines the structure of the Firm.
Swazi appeared to be president and the rest of the executive, maybe the ministers, if I may put it like that, of which that formed the Big Five.
She claims the Firm comprises of a lot more people, not just members of the Big Five cartel. Oren Singh, Eyewitness News.
In Parliament, the ad hoc committee investigating police corruption there wants KZN Provincial Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi to return to Parliament to explain how he got his facts wrong regarding payments allegedly made to Bheki Cele by Vusmuzi Ket Matlala. Mkhwanazi, during his testimony, stated that Cele sent attempted murder accused Matlala banking details and deposited money into the account. But yesterday, Mkhwanazi informed Evidence Leader Advocate Norman Arendse that he got the wrong information and retracted his submission. Babalondenza reports.
2 weeks ago, Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi told the committee that Bheki Cele and Vusmuzi Ket Matlala's links were not just about phone calls, but about money. He went on to call the link criminal. But during Cele's testimony yesterday, Evidence Leader Advocate Norman Arendse informed the committee on Mkhwanazi's about turn.
We received a text message and subsequently we had a short conversation with Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi in which he says that this allegation is withdrawn.
But members like the DA's Glenys Breitenbach says this is not good enough and Mkhwanazi must withdraw the allegations in committee.
I don't think that Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi can send a little note to say he withdraws. He must come here and tell us why he withdraws it, how he made such a mistake, and why he thought it was okay to irresponsibly tell the whole world that thing.
The committee will now inform Mkhwanazi of its decision before another date is set for his return. Babalo Ndenze, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
And the ANC in Gauteng will need to convince opposition parties in the legislature to keep Panyaza Lesufi as premier after the DA filed a motion of no confidence against him. But the ANC doesn't have the required numbers of votes to secure the top position. The DA's bid to remove Lesufi from office was sparked by the Public Protector's damning report into the legality of the Gauteng Crime Prevention Wardens. The Chapter 9 institution has found that the establishment of the unit had no legal mandate. Alfara Mushwana reports.
The Gauteng Provincial Legislature is made up of 80 seats and 11 political parties. The ANC-led coalition holds 32 seats, meaning it currently leads a minority government. For the DA's motion of no confidence against Premier Panyaza Lesufi to succeed, at least 41 votes against him are needed. This means the ANC will need to persuade at least 9 opposition members to secure a 50+1 majority to keep Lesufi in office. DA Gauteng leader Solim Simanga says inter-party negotiations will soon begin.
Well, I'm not naive, to think that it's going to be smooth sailing, but we are going to engage with all the political parties. And we'll actually be failing the whole of the people of Gauteng, irrespective of who they voted for, if we allow things to continue in the manner that they continue.
Simanga says should Lesufi be removed, he'll step forward to replace him. Alpha Ramshwana, Eyewitness News, Johannesburg.
Gold is trading at $4,112.74 an ounce. The rand is at 17.34 to the dollar, 23.09 to the pound, 20.12 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $65.69 a barrel.
There's queuing traffic on the Mike 1 North between Boysons Road and Carr Street, as well as on the N3 North in the Spruitview area. This is along the N3 North, as I say, due to an accident right after Heidelberg Road. Delays all the way towards the Grey Avenue exit.
In your sport, the Bulls will appeal Jan-Hendrik Wessel's 9-week ban. 4 South African teams in CAF action this weekend, hoping to make the group stages. India's women snatched the last semi-final spot at the Cricket World Cup, and excitement builds in Formula One as Max Verstappen finds form to put the pressure on the McLarens heading into the Mexico Grand Prix.
A fine Friday in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 30 and 31 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour: major developments continue to emerge surrounding the investigations of alleged corruption within the country's justice system.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
702 on 92.7 and 106 FM.
Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
And on DSTV channel 856.
8 after 7. Good morning, Stephen in for Bongani, the 702 breakfast. We've had the Friday song already. I'm not going to do it on my own. There are no solos here on this program, not from me at any rate. Great to hear from you this morning on 011 883 0702, and your voice notes coming thick and fast. Shops that you can't stop spending money in. I love the gadgets and the pocket knives we heard earlier that someone just can't stop buying. Clothes too, a major issue. Voice notes 072 702 1702. Plenty to come. The Madlanga Commission just keeps on giving. Becky Cele in Parliament yesterday. So much being said there about so many different things, and all of it just leading to this picture of this incredibly tangled, sort of woven kind of mess that is the South African Police Service. And I don't mean that everyone who works for it is a mess. I'm just making the point that the leadership seems to be in complete disarray. Any chance of it all being sorted out very quickly? Virtually none, I'm afraid. We'll focus on that. We'll focus on the Judiciary too. Those claims now being made against Judge Aubrey Ledwaba. He strongly denies them, refuses to take special leave, which is exactly what an innocent person would do. It's exactly what a guilty person would do too. For me, a very, very finely balanced discussion that. We'll talk more about that in a moment. We'll speak to Chad Thomas about what we've heard from Becky Cele and his relationships with Kat Matlala as well. We'll update you on the things you need to know this morning, and also, of course, all the rest coming from news, from sport, from traffic, and from the world of business as well. Good morning.
Good morning, Stephen. It's Musa in Pretoria. I just wanted to ask that you guys must also give credit to Becky Cele. Becky Cele refused to authorize the establishment of the Wardens. And Panyaza Lesufi was not happy with him. He even made, comments to the effect that we can't wait for you to go on retirement. Yes, public protector, because there was a complaint to the public protector, but from a legal standing point of view, Lesufi was warned by Begicele. Thank you so much. It's Musa in Pretoria.
Musa, you're right. Such a great point that you make there. Actually, Begicele did. I think your memory is correct on that. I just get the sense that Panyaza Lesufi, the Gauteng Premier, I've known him for a very long time. I mean, a long time. The first time I met him, he was the spokesperson in the education department in Gauteng. And I just sort of feel that this could have been handled better. It just looks to me like it's a bit messy. Cowardly was the word I used earlier. I stand by that. Mark Hayward agreed with that. I know the Sowetan also, they're asking, they've got questions for Panyaza Lesufi around this. I think we all do. And I think when you consider how important the fight against crime is in Gauteng, I think we're absolutely allowed to have questions and concerns about it. But good to hear from you on 072 702 1702 this morning.
Look, I'm with Panyaza on this one, hey. What I like about him is that he's got action. He does. Granted, he stepped wrong here. And yes, there are implications, but the intention, I think the intention was good. In the absence of further information, I think the intention was good. And I think if we look further into the crime prevention wardens, we might find that their presence actually helped to prevent certain crimes. And I think they might have helped more people than they have harmed. Shivers in Boxburg.
Shivers, thanks. Okay, your experience of Gauteng crime wardens, I've hardly seen them. I've seen the BMWs, I think, more than I've seen them. I was at a concert over the weekend, and I saw some of them come in, and all I got was an impression that they're all wearing the same jackets, they looked very smart, were quite young, were taking videos of the concert. So was I suppose. But I was not sure what's going to happen here. I'm not really sure sort of why you're here. I'm not saying you shouldn't be. I mean, you need to have a policing function at a concert. There were Metro Police there too. But I don't know, your experience, have you come across a crime warden in Gauteng has actually helped the situation? I was a little worried about how young some of them were. I just think sometimes, and I mean, yes, you could be a police officer at about 21, I suppose, but I was just a little worried about that no one's going to listen to you when you're young, and you can be very angry and frustrated about that. I think a police uniform, people listen to the uniform, not the person. I don't know about the sort of crime prevention warden uniform. I don't know if that was really doing anything for me, I must say.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Well, some of the top things you need to know this Friday morning. Firstly, the weather's great for a good weekend. That's probably the most important thing you need to know. It's going to be a high of 30 degrees in Joburg today, and pretty much that over the weekend. We'll find out today if we are going to go off the grey list. This is the Financial Action Task Force. I normally do the Money Show, and all the people there have been very excited about this. Markets seem to have priced in that we will be taken off, so I think it'll be a major shock if we're not. And I was thinking to myself, when and how are we going to find out? And this is not an organization that does, press conferences very often. So I suspect it'll be over the next couple of days. Let's just say, yes, I expect them to make a decision today. Monday morning, Mateo will know. Let me put it like that. And then we'll know, and he'll make sure that you know. On this day in history, Harry Houdini, someone who's still in popular culture in such a strong way, just an illusionist, a magician, maybe a wizard, I don't know. Harry Houdini gave his final performance. It was in Detroit in Michigan at the Garrick Theatre. He had a burst appendix when he did it. It eventually took him. I mean, that's why he passed in the end. He collapsed in the middle of his show. I had my appendix out when I was young, in my 20s, and it was the sorest thing I've ever had. The sorest thing. I know you're about to say childbirth, but it was the sorest thing. It was the sorest thing, the most painful thing I've ever had. And I went into the hospital. I was actually in London at the time, and they sort of looked and poked and poked and poked and poked, and then they took it out. And the moment when you wake up and you come back out of the operation and it's gone. You know, it was the only thing I felt. That was the most important thing. The second most important thing was being in a London hospital. The two nurses who were looking after me when I woke up were speaking in Zulu. Who would have thought? This was also in the early 2000s, 2001. Today is United Nations Day. The United Nations founded on this day in 1945. Its charter came into force. Who read the prologue to the charter? Who actually wrote it? Who wrote the preamble to the Charter for the United Nations? I'll give you a hint. There's a road that's closed on Sunday. It's an important road, and it's probably going to frustrate you because idiots like me are cycling up it. It was Jan Smuts talking about human rights. Jan Smuts. I mean, what's the phrase? The irony could power Eskom. But anyway, Jan Smuts wrote the introduction to that. And then on music history on this day, 1987 was bad. Michael Jackson, the guy could do stuff that no one else could do. He really, if he was going to release a song, it was going to be top of the charts. Michael Jackson's Bad was at number 1. The US Billboard Hot 100 on this day in 1987 was at the top for 2 weeks, was the 8th number 1 single of Jackson's career.
702. Up next.
The Big Interview.
EWN Traffic.
16 after 7, Eyewitness Traffic is brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now. You could save on car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 Rand. Amo, a big crash on the N1 North.
That's correct, Steve. It's right after Malibongo Drive, causing heavy traffic volumes coming out of Beyers Naudé Drive. And speaking of Beyers Naudé Drive, do remember that we still have those faulty traffic lights right at the N1, causing some delays there. There's also queuing traffic in Sharonlee on Malibongo Drive. In fact, bumper-to-bumper traffic between Oliver Node Avenue and the N1. Peak time delays there are adding on to this pressure. So if you're traveling around these areas, please be on the lookout, be patient, and drive with care. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Clever late excuse number 96. Your dog ate all your left shoes and you couldn't find a matching pair. Not the strongest excuse. Fortunately, with the Outsurance pointsman on the roads, you no longer have to come up with creative excuses for being late. The Outsurance pointsman easing traffic congestion and getting you there quickly and safely since 2005. Outsurance really means it when they say you always get something out. In proud partnership with 702. Show them some love online using hashtag pointsmanlove. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
Mzansi is buzzing after 2 lucky players hit it lucky on Tuesday, scooping over 190 million Rand in total jackpots. Our Powerball winner bagged a life-changing jackpot of over 163 million Rand. And the Powerball Plus jackpot winner took home over 31 million Rand. Both tickets were bought on banking apps. Play your favorite National Lottery game and you could be next. Panda, Pusha, play. Players must be 18 years old and play responsibly. E2 is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
Feel the rhythm of summer at the Old Mutual Music in the Gardens, featuring Mikasa and Jazeel Brothers, live on Saturday, 25 October at the Walter Sisulu Botanical Garden. Experience soulful sounds, sunshine, and good vibes in one of Joburg's most beautiful settings. Get your tickets now at webtickets.co.za. Proudly presented by Old Mutual, 702 and Breakout Events.
Are you preparing food for a celebration, a summer snack board, canapes, or easy meals to feed a crowd? Then Pesto Princess has fresh pesto sauces, hummus, cooking sauces, and chimichurri sauce to make your day delicious. By the way, Pesto Princess is also celebrating 25 years in business this year. I'm the founder, Kathleen, and I want to thank you for your loyal support. Find us at Spar, Checkers, and Pick n Pay, or visit pesto.co.za.
Huawei Watch GT6 Series, 2025's must-have smartwatch, introducing the king of power. Up to 21 days of unstoppable battery life in a sleek titanium and ceramic design that's as strong as it's stylish. The Trackmaster with 24/7 heart rate tracking, sleep monitoring, advanced health management, and the world's first cycling virtual power feature. Fully compatible with both iOS and Android. Get yours now from just 169 Rand a month over 36 months or 4,999 Rand at selected retailers. T's and C's apply.
In a world shaped by those who build, disrupt and reimagine, there comes a gathering of futures. The South African Future Trust Summit, in partnership with Standard Bank, is back on the 5th and 6th of November. To win 5 tickets to the summit, WhatsApp WhatsApp the keyword SAFT, and with your name and ID number telling us how you would benefit from attending, to 072 702 1702. Then catch 702 Drive with John Perlman to find out if you're a winner. The South African Future Trust Summit 2025, in partnership with Standard Bank, where bold ideas meet transformative investment. T's, C's and more on primemediaplus.com.
702.
The Big Interview.
20 after 7, or so many different Smalinyala skeletons coming out of various closets from the different inquiries into the police service. The former police minister, former police commissioner, Bheki Cele, his usual sort of form yesterday. I think the real bombshell maybe came last night, and there's so many to choose from, but the Chief Justice, Mandisa Meyer, confirming she had approached the Gauteng acting judge, President Aubrey Ledwaba, to offer him special leave, and he had said no. So one of the witnesses at the Madlanga Commission, a police investigator known as Witness A, said 2.5 million rand had been earmarked to make sure the hitman Katie Molefe was given bail. It's not clear if the money was meant for the judge or for the prosecutor. Ledwaba did grant Molefe bail. That judgment had been criticized before all of this came out. Ledwaba says he's done nothing wrong. He's not going to take special leave. The Chief Justice, Meyer, says maybe that's an option he should take. I have some sympathy with both of them, frankly. Dr. Shadi Makhanwe is a lecturer in constitutional law, governance and legislative oversight at Wits. Dr. Makhanwe, good morning.
Good morning, Stephen. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you for your time. I mean, I find this quite finely balanced. I made the point earlier. If I was guilty, I would say I'm staying in office. If I was innocent, I would say I'm staying in office.
I guess it doesn't matter either way, right? He would stay, of course. He wants to prove his innocence. And he will also want to stay to show that he has done nothing wrong, as he says. But for me, should he step down while this plays out? I think so, at least temporarily, right? I don't think it's punishment. It's about safeguarding the institution's credibility while the facts are being checked. So I do think he should step down, at least temporarily.
So, I mean, one of the problems, I can understand why you say that. I mean, one of the problems for me is that you could say, well, step down until the end of the commission. Now, how long is your piece of string? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this commission goes on another 2 years before we get findings.
That's true. But I think in this instance, when senior judges face such serious allegations, stepping aside protects public confidence in the judiciary or in the judicial system, right? So if he stays there, I think it's going to impact or it's going to affect how the public sees the justice system. So hence I said in the first place, I don't think it's not punishment, but he needs to step aside and wait. I don't know how long it takes. Most people say the wheels of justice are slow, but for this reason, to maintain public confidence in the justice system, I think it's only fair that he steps aside.
The Chief Justice putting out a statement about it, and I have sympathy with her. Was that the right move? I mean, she had to respond. It does, I think, her statement has the consequence of putting a lot of pressure on Ledwaba. I mean, I don't know if that's what she wanted. She had to say something, but it does do that anyway.
I think the statement was necessary, right? I think this goes beyond one judge. Hence, the Chief Justice had to make that statement. This is about whether South Africans can still trust our courts to be clean, independent, and above political or criminal influence. If the judiciary confronts this head-on, it will emerge stronger. If it closes ranks or it delays action, public faith in the rule of law will take a serious knock. So I think that statement was necessary in that sense.
Such a strong point. Dr. Shadi Makhanwe, thanks so much. A lecturer in constitutional law, governance and legislative oversight at Wits. Well, the other big issue that came out yesterday, the former police minister Bheki Cele in Parliament talking about his relationship with Kat Matlala. Matlala wanted him to do something illegal. Chad Thomas is an expert on crime. He's been involved in all of this. Chad, good morning. I mean, you've got a former police minister meeting with Kat Matlala, not just once, but several times, staying in his hotels and all the rest. How do you feel about Clele's explanation for it?
Very good morning, Stephen, and very good morning to the listeners.
Look, it's of grave concern because, as the Minister acknowledged, he still gets called on a regular basis by people who have been victims of crime so that he can intervene and intercede on their behalf. He still has contact with the majority of senior leadership within SAPS. And I find the timing quite peculiar because it was at the stage that Katpatlala was fighting literally for his life in respect of that wellness tender, and he needed intervention of sorts. We had by this stage got to know who Katpatlala was, and despite not being employed by government anymore and not having that executive oversight, one has to check who they are dealing with. And it's been a constant throughout this commission is how people like Brown Mokgotsi had direct contact with Mkhunu, and now we've seen Vusi Katpatlala having direct contact with the previous minister. It's of grave concern seeing bad actors being able to communicate quite openly with these very senior members of leadership. One must remember that Becky Cele is still a member of the National Executive Committee of the ANC and on their working committees.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to it. I mean, clearly we all need to spend a little bit more time having breakfast in the Beverly Hills Hotel in Durban just to find out what's going on. I keep coming back to this, how our politics, and let me be clear, I suppose do mean primarily the politics of the ANC, maybe MK, maybe some others, is completely intertwined with the SAPS. I mean, we hear about how Senzo Mkhunu wanted financial support for his leadership bid in the ANC. And isn't this the real problem? Is that our politicians and our police are too close to each other?
You make a very valid point. One can look at the January 8th sponsorships that were arranged by Brown Mokgotsi even meeting with Sabir for breakfast in Cape Town and then bulking out on the bill. But then if we go back to the Mangaung conference, a lot of allegations came out that crime intelligence was funding brown envelopes in respect of different candidates. So these brown envelopes get shoved underneath delegates' doors before the election process takes place the next day. And this came out of the Mangaung election a few years ago. I think it's about a decade ago. So it is concerning that there's this very strong relationship between the policing structures and a political party, and that there's always this talk of money, be it money from the Secret Service account or be it money that's solicited via senior members from these purported bad actors.
At this stage, from what we know, in its early days, Chad, I mean, let's be clear, this could go on forever. Do you think at this stage we're actually going to see real reform coming out of this? I mean, I want to be optimistic, but I'm afraid I'm quite tough to convince nowadays.
Oh, most definitely. In the short term, we need to come up with solutions where we make use of the public-private partnerships that have been established by BAXA and others just to get us through this phase. But there has to be an overhaul in the medium to long term of our policing structures, of the independence thereof, as well as the decentralization from national to provincial to local. This is the reckoning that we've needed for a very long time. And everybody in South Africa now understands the problems. They suspected the problems. They heard rumors of the problems. They're now hearing firsthand. People are coming with receipts and saying, yes, indeed, there are major problems within our policing structures.
Chad Thomas, thanks so much. Really appreciate that. Chad, as you know, is an expert on crime. Dr. Shadi Makhanwe, an expert on constitutional law. 28 after 7.
EWN Business.
This business report is proudly sponsored by GIC. Through infrastructure-related projects, GIC sets a better standard of living. GIC, changing lives. Mateo, good evening. I knew I was going to do that. First one at some point. First time today. Sasol, 17% yesterday.
Yeah, good story for them. Sasol shares surged 17% after the company reported a growth across its business segments in line with the market guidance they had. The company took an advantage of sanctions placed on Russia's oil price during the period. Brent crude went up 4% to $65 a barrel as Russian oil firms Rosneft and Lukoil were blacklisted by the US. Sasol's Southern African mining division also saw an increase of 18% in production for the quarter. The company's Netref and Sasolburg operations delivered improved performances with high overall sales volumes for fuels and growth in the higher margin mobility channel. Chemicals Africa sales volumes were also good for the period, but revenue was lower there due to softer market conditions.
And then the Reserve Bank. High electricity prices threaten lower inflation. I'm no Reserve Bank governor, but I knew that. I can feel it.
Yeah, they keep saying it, that government work with us. We're trying to get the inflation target much lower, but they're saying that the increase in electricity prices is not helping that 3% inflation target. In a biannual revenue for its monetary policy, the central bank said the outlook for electricity inflation had worsened over the last 6 months and that it now expected to reach around 7.9% over the medium term, up from 6.6% in April. So, yeah, we all know that power is costing us.
Indeed. What's happening in the markets?
Well, the rand at this hour, 17 rand 34 against the US dollar, still holding on to those marginal gains at 20 rand 13 cents against the euro, 23 rand 10 cents against the British pound. The price of gold at $4,115 an ounce, or platinum, is up 2.5% now at $1,623. Brent crude at $65 a barrel. More business after 8.
Change requires skill, an agile body to fill the gaps. But real change moves collaboratively, progressively, enabling, because it knows what to do and how to improve the lives of the deserving. Through infrastructure-related projects, GIC actively brings change for the better, because real change sets a standard of living, of being. GIC, changing lives.
Just after 7:30, this Eyewitness News is brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now. You could save on car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 rand. Zafiso, good morning. Parliament and the elections.
That's right, Stephen. 16 months since the last elections, Parliament has taken stock of the process, highlighting long queues, low voter turnout, poorly trained employees, and failing technology as the main issues that require attention. The National Assembly yesterday debated an electoral report from the Home Affairs Committee, which has recommended a review of the rules on voting outside a registered voting district. Opposition parties have argued the Electoral Commission can't assess its own performance and wants its officials to face security vetting and lifestyle audits. Lindsay Tentlinga reports.
Political parties across the board say they are concerned about what appears to be inadequate training for electoral staff. The DA's Adrian Roux said the IEC's information technology, especially temperamental voter management devices, remained concerning.
The 2024 national and provincial elections saw over 800 voting stations close after 9 p.m, with no detailed analysis of why. BMD data can and must be used to track the causes of these late closures.
Bossa MP Nabunto Schlazo-Webster says Section 24A of the Electoral Amendment Act, requiring the IEC to be notified before being eligible to vote outside of a voting district, is disenfranchising the voter.
And so we can't call ourselves a free democracy when the system actually ultimately denies votes, denies voices, and denies power.
The ACDP's Wayne Thring called for the urgent reform of the biometric identification system and for an independent audit of the IEC's digital infrastructure. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
Community leaders in Bronkhorstspruit say people are living in fear since a shooting at a tavern claimed 5 lives and left several others injured. The local community policing forum says Extension 8 in Zitobeni remains one of the places hardest hit by crime, and the attack earlier this month has heightened tensions. One of the alleged gunmen appeared in court yesterday and has been remanded in custody pending a formal bail hearing next month. Speaking outside court, chairperson of the forum, November Mbonani, says crime in the area is rife.
And in the traffic, we've got some delays on the N3 North. This is between the Marlborough Drive exit and the Baklu interchange, and that's due to roadworks. Please be on the lookout there. While travelling on the N1 North, bumper-to-bumper traffic between Beyers Nodia Drive and Malibongwe Drive due to an earlier accident.
The top story this hour, Parliament has taken stock of the country's voting process, highlighting main issues that require attention.
Zafiso, thank you. 48-year-old Felicity spotted an Outsurance deal that was too good to drive past. She now pays only 836 Rand a month for her 2020 Hyundai Tucson. And 52-year-old Janine was all smiles when Outsurance gave her a premium of just 561 Rand a month on her 2024 Kia Picanto 1.2. Ready to get more out of your car insurance? SMS out to 45142 today. That's out to 45142. Outsurance, licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
Clement Manyatela.
Weekday mornings,
9 to 12.
9 to 12.
How did your parents and also just the church navigate you being on Idols? Because there are churches out there that are like, Madimoni, Idols, it's singing about love and strawberries and romantic scenes. What are you doing?
It was a culture shock for them. For them, it's like joyous, and then you build from there. For me, my exposure to music was not just church, but I grew up gigging as a child. 13, 14, 15, 16, doing corporate gigs, doing theater stuff. So I've always been around that space outside of gospel music. So for me personally, it was like, I can do it.
Gospel artist Kayam Tetwai.
Clements Manyatela.
9 to 12 on 702.
People are talking, everybody's talking, and they're saying it's time to make insurance great again. They said our low premiums were fake news. Wrong. We're putting customers first. We're gonna drain the insurance swamp. It's full of hidden fees. But when we clean it up, believe me, it's gonna be huge.
This message has absolutely nothing to do with the US government. It's paid for by the King of Insurance, who's making insurance great again. Get a quote now. It'll be the best decision people are saying ever. King Price is a licensed FSP. No fake news, just like her insurance.
Hollywood Bets is whipping up more sweet success with the Spinazonke Weekend Bonus Bonanza. Enter a wondrous world of adrenaline-pumping entertainment for a chance to win a share of 400,000 Rand in bonus bets. Bet 2 Rand or more on selected Spinazonke games and you could unlock an endless stream of riveting rewards. One spin could reveal dazzling golden treasures. What are you waiting for? Dive in and enjoy weekends like never before. T's and C's apply.
Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008.
Joburg businesses, this is it. The Prime Media Prime Impact Sales Event is here, 3 to 7 November.
Register now and get a free demo commercial revealed live at the event, a tailored campaign for your business, and access to exclusive annual partnerships.
Prime Media is SA's leading media company with the audience reach and products to grow your brand.
Seats are nearly gone. Register today at primeimpact.co.za.
For the first time ever, the G20 summit is being hosted on African soil, a global moment of solidarity, equality and sustainability with Africa at the centre. Tune in today between 6 and 9 a.m. for the G20 Correspondence Desk on 702. Brought to you by RMB and FNB, proud sponsors of this year's G20 Summit. Get all the latest news, views, insights and breakthroughs from the summit as it happens. The G20 Correspondence Desk on 702. Brought to you by RMB and FNB, divisions of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorised financial services and credit provider.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Morning, Stephen. Refreshing to hear you in the morning. Panyaza's crime prevention, that was just an election ploy to appeal to the masses. But generally, the guy did good work. When he was Minister of Education or in Gauteng, he did brilliant work. And yes, he's a radical, but I think we need to check whether he's got criminal intent as well.
Good morning, 702 team. Les Matthews here from Benoni. Just regarding the crime wardens, I think their average stipend is somewhere around 6,000 Rand a month. I'm not sure what a fully qualified traffic officer receives as a salary, but I would guess it's somewhere around about 15,000 Rand a month. It'll be interesting to know where the budget will come from to more than double the salaries of people like that, taking into account obviously that they also need their jobs, but it's easy to say we'll convert crime wardens into qualified traffic officers, but where's the money going to come from? Have a great day, team.
Good morning, SG and your team. Hope you guys are good. You know, I'm so glad this report came out from the public protector. And I really hope this young man who was assaulted by these Panyazas can sue the hell out of Panyaza. I don't know if he can personally or the the AmaPanyaza, the department on its own. I don't know, but I really hope he can sue the hell out of them and be compensated greatly for it, because really they've gone and ruined this young man's life with decisions that they take that really don't make any sense, especially when you also got advised that was not correct to do. I really hope he gets sued in his personal capacity, in fact. But yeah, we know this is South Africa, so yeah.
Such an interesting point you make. I mean, we hardly ever see politicians being held personally accountable for decisions they make with our money, do we? I mean, it hardly ever happens. 20 minutes to 8.
702.
What's the question?
What's the question is brought to you by Outsurance. It's your chance to win up to 3,000 Rand in cash. First, 1,000 Rand for the answer, and then a little later, 2,000 Rand if you can give us the question. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on car insurance. If you don't, ask Outsurance for 500 Rand. Today's answer comes from Willie Beloy. Willie, good morning.
Good morning, Stephen. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. Please give us today's answer.
Today's answer is Dr. Gina Mhlope.
Okay. Gina Mhlope is your answer. Have you recently requested a quote from Outsurance, Willie?
Yes, I do have a quote with them.
Well, you can hear from the applause. Congratulations. You've won yourself 1,000 Rand in cash, all thanks to Outsurance and 702. If you know what's the question, be the 7th caller now on 011 883 0702. T's and C's on primemediaplus.com.
EWN Sport.
Cindy Baluta, there are days when you don't even need to say the joke because it all just writes itself, right? It's the Blue Bulls.
That's okay. Right. So the Bulls will appeal Jan Hendrik Wessel's 9-week ban, but he still misses tonight's URC clash. The Glasgow Wessels apparently groped Connacht Josh Murphy, but no new footage was used in the hearing other than the match footage, which didn't show clear evidence of foul play. Tomorrow, the Lions are hosting Ulster. The Sharks have yet to win a match, host Scarlets, and the Storms are away at Benetton. 4 South African sides in CAF action this weekend. Kaizer Chiefs and Stellenbosch both goalless in their Confed Cup games, while in the Champions League, Sundowns have a healthy 5-1 lead over Remo Stars. It's Pirates who have a 3-0 mountain to overturn against Saint Eloi Limpopo. Pirates coach Abdeslam Wadu.
I have seen a great character of my players, of my team, trying to score goals, going forward, not just protecting this goal. We have seen that during all the game, we tried to score more goals. Unfortunately, we didn't have this efficiency in the box. But let's say I hope they kept these 5 goals they didn't score for this Saturday.
In the Premier League tonight, Leeds host West Ham. Tomorrow, Chelsea host Sunderland. Liverpool are away at Brentford, and Man United host Brighton. At the Women's Cricket World Cup, India is the last team through to the semi-finals. They beat New Zealand by 53 runs, the Duckworth-Lewis method. F1 Championship leader Oscar Piastri at one point had a 104-point lead over Max Verstappen. That's been cut down to 40 going into this weekend's action in Mexico. Verstappen's just 26 points behind second-place Lando Norris. Here's Norris and whether he thinks Verstappen can still snatch the championship.
They've been performing better than we have. He's obviously won a good amount of races, and he's Max Verstappen. You'd be silly if you didn't want to give Max a chance for achieving another championship. So I think rightly so. And at the minute, of course, they're in a better form. You know, he's won more races, they're more pole positions. They've just been quicker, especially in qualifying, which has led on to being better in some of the races. But I think we still have chances. I still think we have a better car.
And the FBI has arrested NBA player Miami Heat's Terry Rozier and Portland Trailblazers head coach Chauncey Billups following investigations into illegal sports betting. Rozier was arrested over alleged betting irregularities, including players faking injuries to influence gambling markets. Coach Billups is charged in a separate illegal poker game case involving retired players and the mafia. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
What you're hearing isn't a traffic accident. It's not panic braking. It's our amazing car-stopping 40th birthday deals. For a limited time only, Auto & General is offering great savings with our 40th birthday Ruby deals. Celebrate with us by visiting autogen.co.za for great personal and business car insurance savings. Auto & General, never not there. Auto & General is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's and C's online. Offer available for a limited time only.
What do partners of the Gates Foundation do when facing the world's toughest challenges? They keep going. From discovering a plastic drape that helps detect excessive postpartum bleeding faster, to developing better bed nets to kill malaria-carrying mosquitoes, to researching an RSV vaccine that could save hundreds of thousands of children. For every problem, there are people who prove that progress is possible. The Gates Foundation, partners of human potential. Learn more at gatesfoundation.org/keep going.
Dreaming of a tropical escape? World Leisure Holidays has your ticket to paradise with exclusive getaways to the Indian Ocean Islands. From the beaches of Mauritius and the Maldives to the charm of Madagascar, Seychelles, Zanzibar and more, your dream destination awaits. Take advantage of early bird specials and pay stay offers. Call 011-285-2500 and mention 702 for a mystery discount. Or follow us on social media or contact your nearest travel professional. Start planning your escape today. T's and C's apply.
EWN Traffic.
It's just gone 7:45, Stephen, in for Bongani. This EWN Traffic is brought to you by Citroen. Buy an Air Cross from 279,900 Rand or a C3 from 262,900 Rand with a service plan and get a 4-month payment holiday. Visit citroen.co.za. T's and C's apply. Amo, still delays on the N1 South.
That's correct, Steve. We've got an accident reported in the Woodmead area right after the Baklu interchange. It's causing heavy traffic volume. As a result, there's a lot of delays around the Baklu this morning. This is due to those roadworks that are taking place on the N3 North just as you approach the Baklu interchange. And then we've got a car stuck on the road. It's on the N1 South in the Waterfall City area. It's right near the Baklu turn-off. The delays are as you come out of Allendale Road. So please be on the lookout there and be patient. If you are traveling on the N1 North out of the Sharon Lee area, that accident we spoke about earlier has been cleared, but we're still seeing a stop and go situation coming out of Beyers Nodia Drive in the Ren Park Ridge area towards Malibongwe Drive, and then traveling in 4 ways. Delays along Winnie Mandela Drive. This is between Witkoppen Road and Leslie Avenue. That's due to peak time delays there. Please be on the lookout and be patient. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Thinking about rolling in a new Citroen C3?
Did you just pause the ad?
Yep, like how we pause your installments. That's 4 months, no payments.
I got you. And the C3's got rear sensors, reverse camera, a warranty, and service plan.
Press pause on payments and play on life. Get the Citroen C3 from 264,500 and enjoy a 4-month payment holiday. Visit citroen.co.za. T's and C's apply.
702.
What's the question?
Well, with Outsurance, your chance to win up to 3,000 Rand in cash. Already given away some money for the answer. Time to see if we can get the question. All right, Tapiwe in Centurion. Tapiwe, good morning.
Good morning.
If the answer is Dr. Kline Mklope, Tapiwe, what's the question?
The question is, what is the name of the South African story actor, writer who was born on this day in 1958?
Tapiwe, congratulations.
Thank you.
You've won 2,000 Rand in cash, all thanks to Outsurance and 702. Tapiwe from Centurion, this morning's winner with What's the Question?
You could spend 10 minutes on social media or get a 10-minute quote from Outsurance that could save you thousands on your car insurance. SMS out to 45142. Like 55-year-old Andre, who now pays a mind-blowing 776 Rand a month for his 2024 Toyota Urban Cruiser. With Outsurance, you get to enjoy benefits like panic assistance that sends the nearest medical or armed response unit to you wherever you may be, 24/7 with just a tap on the app. SMS out to 45142. After switching, 55-year-old Stefan now pays only 611 Rand a month for his 2024 Suzuki Jimny. Outsurance is so confident that they can beat what you're currently paying. So why not put them to the test? If Outsurance can't beat what you're paying, ask them for 500 Rand. Make that 1,500 Rand if you've been claim-free and with the same insurer for 3 years. Savings or cash, you have nothing to lose. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Outsurance, licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online. Limits apply.
The all-new Audi A5 has arrived with a panoramic sunroof that changes transparency and a B&O sound system built into the headrests. Every detail makes driving feel like an art form. Visit your Audi dealership, book a test drive and experience the Audi A5 from 14,499 Rand per month with a guaranteed future value. Visit audi.co.za for more. T's and C's apply. Brought to you by Audi Financial Services, a division of Volkswagen Financial Services South Africa Pty Limited, an authorized financial services and registered credit provider.
Live extra with Checkers, SA's #1 in value supermarket. Save big on deals like a Quelle Natural Still or Sparkling Spring Water, a 500ml 6-pack for $36.99. Kellogg's Cornflakes cereal 1 kg for $74.99. And buy 3 Colgate selected toothpastes, 50 or 75ml, and get the cheapest one free. Valid until Sunday at Checkers, Checkers Hyper, or shop on 6060.
Naked people are great dancers. Because naked people spend less time on insurance admin, they have more time to perfect their moves. Go to naked.insure now, get a car insurance quote in 90 seconds, and get naked. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP.
702.
702. What's gone viral?
With Kabazela.
Kabazela, good morning.
Well, what's the gold price this morning, Steve Bobo?
You don't need to know because it doesn't
How you
matter to
doing?
you.
You good?
Over 4,000. Yeah, I'm good. How are you? This Friday, the weather's looking good?
Yeah, always good on a Friday. Thank you very much.
I'm not going to ask you to join Amo and Morteo in singing. All right. I missed the game. This is about people who used to be the greats.
Yeah, so this was a video with Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player ever, and it was a very interesting interview that he did. It's called MJ Insights to Excellence, and Monday was the return of the NBA on NBC, and there's going to be, he's going to be involved with NBC. We don't really know too much detail yet, but he's going to be involved for the season. And in this interview, he talks about how he was on holiday at the Ryder Cup and he hadn't picked up a basketball in years. He doesn't even have a basketball hoop at his house or houses. And this guy that he was staying at came and said, listen, I want to impress my grandkids. Do you mind just doing a free throw for us at the basketball court at this house that he was renting? And he says in this interview that was the most nervous he's ever felt in years, because here these kids are looking at him and the stories that have been told about him, and now he's got to make this throw. Anyway, he made the throw and he impressed the kids. But then he was asked by this interviewer about missing the game, and this was his response.
Still love it? Love it like you wouldn't believe. I mean, in all honesty, I wish I could take a magic pill, put on shorts, and go out and play the game of basketball today. Because that's who I am. That's that type of competition, that type of competitiveness is what I live for, and I miss it. I miss that aspect of playing the game of basketball. Being able to challenge myself against what people see as great basketball. But it's better for me to be sitting here talking to you as opposed to popping my Achilles and I'm in a wheelchair for a while.
Oh, popping the Achilles, that age. I mean, geez. I mean, it's a bit like,
We can relate.
Indeed, yes. Throwing a soccer ball at Dr. Kamala or a rugby ball at Joel Stransky and saying, can you still get it through? I mean, I think they obviously can, right? Surely.
Yeah, well, you would think maybe if they've kept themselves fit and all that kind of thing, they probably could. But I wanted to ask our 702 family this morning, I mean, when you're watching, let's say you're growing up and you watch sports or whatever it may be, and they were the greats that you watched, and then one day they retire and you think, geez, maybe I should have paid more attention to their time when they played, or I'm really going to miss them. Or you've heard stories about, players that your dad told you about, or your mother had told you about, or your grandfather told you about, and you think, well, I would have loved to have seen them play. So if you could give one sportsman or sportswoman a magic pill to bring them back so that you could watch them play again, who would that be for you? I'd love to hear those this morning. For me, I would love to get Eric Cantona to take a magic pill, come back and play again. Because remember, he also retired fairly early for a footballer. So
yeah,
I would pick Cantona.
Went into acting, wasn't it? And then taking eggs out of the carton. This is about where you put your eggs. I mean, if you want to divide people, there are two things. Do you have pineapple in your pizza? No, obviously. And secondly, what do you do with your eggs?
So, I mean, I wouldn't have thought that if you went to X and you put this on X, that it would have got over 4 million impressions and views. So this guy puts on X, he says, my girlfriend got on to me the other day because she doesn't understand why I can't just pick eggs out of the carton like a normal person. She's standing there watching me and says, why can't you just go row by row like everybody else? I said, because no egg should ever know when its time is coming. And he goes on and on to explain his process of how he takes eggs and picks the eggs out of the carton. So 2 questions this morning. Where do you store your eggs? Do you keep them in the fridge or on the counter? And if they're on the countertop, in the carton, when you go to select an egg, do you start from, let's say, the left-hand side and then go the top row and then the next row and on it goes? Or are you like this guy? His wife calls him a psycho. You just randomly pick eggs and you think, oh, well, you know, then never know which one is coming and which one's going to be cracked. It's a bizarre thing, but think about your process when you go to make your scrambled eggs in the morning.
I think out of just fear, I follow an orderly pattern, and I think it's just fear. I mean, there can be no other way. I mean, we all know. I mean, why can't you just be an ordinary person? Say no woman to her male partner ever.
Exactly. I think if I go look at my egg carton now, I'll probably grab from the right-hand side first.
Yeah.
And then for some reason I start going in the middle. Then I go random. So maybe I'm a psycho. Who knows?
Kabazela often wondered. Kabazela, thanks very much indeed. What's gone viral?
702. Feedback with Bapelile Sambo.
Bapelile, good morning.
Good morning.
I saw you for the first time a long time ago. Thanks for being so nice to me this morning.
Right, thank you so much. You should repeat that.
Well, the Money Show people never offer me coffee.
And,
I mean,
and
I don't
what
know
else? We gave you everything you need. The only thing that's missing is just massages after the show, you know, so that you come back again next week.
You've got time. Never mind. Feedback so far this morning.
Even 702 listeners are still reacting to Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi's announcement that the province traffic wardens, known as AmaPanyaza, will temporarily stop their duties. They are asking what will happen to the money already spent, such on vehicles, and where additional funds will come from, since the wardens will be redeployed and they may need a higher salary or double their salaries.
Yeah, that's such a good question. And I mean, also, you've got people who were trained to do one thing. Now they're going to do something else. Now that's fine, but there needs to be proper training. The real problem with AmaPanyaza really on the ground was the lack of training.
And others are saying, you know what, the AmaPanyazas were helpful, especially in the CBD, in terms of robberies and all of that. Now they are concerned what's going to happen if they are taken from the streets and go to training. So now they are worried about their safety. And in response to Muto's question, a 702 lender says the correct term for people who go shopping for one item but come back with bags is called compulsive buying, and says we must just refer to ourselves, because I say we, because I'm also guilty of that, as compulsive buyers. A great tip, she says, just go into the store, go straight to the aisle that you know you need things from, 2 minutes in and then 2 minutes out.
Or have a list.
Yes. Have a list
Just have a list.
And stick
just
to that
stick
list.
to the list, yeah.
And our big interview, frustrations from 702 lenders about the justice system and the corruption that is playing in our background.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes on and on and on, doesn't it, Bapelile? Thanks very much indeed. Do appreciate it with feedback this morning.
No, absolutely not. Okay, eggs are taken in a line, and eggs belong in the fridge. Okay, eggs belong in the fridge, and eggs should be taken in order. Like, what do you mean you're taking random eggs? Oh, I would die. Oh my goodness, I would die.
Are you an accountant? Live a little. Come on. Seriously? Really? Just, does it matter? I mean, you don't have to be on egg traffic control all the time. I mean, seriously. I mean, come on. We don't need to worry about these things. Surely. We just, make sure that they're in the right order in a way so that you don't have sort of older ones in the wrong place. But does it really matter?
702 lenders. For me, the one athlete that I wish I could bring back with the magic pill, Zinedine Zidane. Oh, if I can just see that man play one more time, I will be so happy. Happy Friday, guys. Thanks. It's Masungulu in Proteatli.
Interesting. Football players are the ones that we want to bring back. I've been thinking about who I would want to sort of bring back and see to play again. And I'm actually battling a little bit. I mean, there are a few from when I was young, but some of them are still alive and they'll get irritated. But yeah, kind of hard to know in a way. All right. Well, coming up, we'll be joined by Isaiah Mhlanga, Chief Economist at RMB, for the latest edition of the G20 Correspondence Desk. With RMB and FNB, he unpacks Africa's infrastructure challenges, the role of private capital, and how South Africa's G20 presidency could unlock new opportunities for the continent. Then, Adam Gilchrist brings us Worldview, followed by Ivy van Bosch, Head of Provincial at Standard Bank Private, who shares what to expect at this year's much-anticipated Standard Bank Winex kicking off next Wednesday. You at 7:02 Breakfast, Stephen in for Bongani. It's 8 o'clock.
This is EWN.
Judge Aubrey Ledwaba is ready to tell his side of the story about alleged links to KT Molefe, and MPs call for Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi to come back to Parliament to clarify some of his accusations. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. Gauteng Acting Judge President Aubrey Ledwaba says he will not be taking special leave after requesting to appear before the Madlanga Commission to set the record straight on the granting of bail to an alleged kingpin. An SAPS investigating officer, witness A, this week during his testimony alleged that Katiso KT Molefe paid 2.5 million rand for his release on bail, suggesting that Ledwaba may have benefited. Molefe was released in June after he appealed a decision by the Vereniging Magistrates Court in relation to the murder of engineer Armand Swart last year. Khomatso Modise reports.
While witness A at the Madlanga Commission did not know if and how much in bribes may have been allegedly given to Judge Aubrey Ledwaba, he heavily scrutinized the decision to grant Katiso KT Molefe bail, suggesting that he benefited from the decision. In a statement, the Office of the Chief Justice says Justice Mandisa Maya discussed the matter with Ledwaba and the possibility of granting him special leave pending the finalization of the Madlanga Commission. The OCJ says Ledwaba denies receiving money to grant Molefe bail and says he'll not be taking special leave. Ledwaba says he's seeking legal advice and wishes to appear before the Madlanga Commission to set the record straight. Khomatso Modise, Eyewitness News.
Meanwhile, the Madlanga Commission has also heard that late Pretoria taxi boss Johann Mswazi Msibi was allegedly the leader of a criminal network referred to as the Firm, which the so-called Big Five cartel operates under. An organized crime officer revealed the information on day 2 of her testimony at the inquiry yesterday. Referred to as Witness B, she is part of a team uncovering the inner workings of the Big Five cartel, which comprises of Tembisa alleged kingpin Vusmuzi Ket Matlala and attempted murder accused Katiso KT Molefe. Oren Singh reports.
Johann Mswazi Msibi, a well-known and feared taxi boss, died in January last year following a short illness. He's been accused of being the president of a dangerous criminal network referred to as the Firm and in some instances the Farm. Yesterday, Witness B, a member of organized crime, told the Madlanga Commission that the Big Five cartel, a syndicate which has allegedly captured the criminal justice system in Gauteng, operates under the umbrella of the Firm.
Mostly the word firm you will hear from the hitmen when they talk amongst themselves, saying we are the best in the firm.
She outlines the structure of the Firm.
Swazi appeared to be president and the rest of the executive, maybe the ministers, if I may put it like that, of which that formed the Big Five.
She claims the Firm comprises of a lot more people, not just members of the Big Five cartel. Arun Singh, Eyewitness News.
And in Parliament, the ad hoc committee investigating police corruption there wants KZN Provincial Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi to return to Parliament to explain how he got his facts wrong regarding payments allegedly made to Begicele by Vusmuzi Ket Matlala. Mkhwanazi, during his testimony, stated that Cele sent attempted murder accused Matlala banking details and deposited money into the account. But yesterday, Mkhwanazi informed evidence leader Advocate Norman Arendse that he got it wrong and retracts his submission. Babalondenze reports.
2 weeks ago, Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi told the committee that Begicele and Vusmuzi Ket Matlala's links were not just about phone calls, but about money. He went on to call the link criminal. But during Cele's testimony yesterday, evidence leader Advocate Norman Arendse informed the committee on Mkhwanazi's about turn.
We received a text message and subsequently we had a short conversation with Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi in which he says that this allegation is withdrawn.
But members like the DA's Glenys Breitenbach says this is not good enough and Mkhwanazi must withdraw the allegations in committee.
I don't think that Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi can send a little note to say he withdraws. He must come here and tell us why he withdraws it, how he made such a mistake, and why he thought it was okay to irresponsibly tell the whole world that thing.
The committee will now inform Mkhwanazi of its decision before another date is set for his return. Babalo Ndanse, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
And the DA is seeking legal advice on whether criminal charges could be pursued against Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi for allegedly endangering the lives of the province's crime prevention wardens. A report by the Public Protector this week found that the establishment of the unit was irregular. It was released hours after Lesufi announced the disbandment of the prevention wardens. The DA has confirmed that it has submitted a motion of no confidence against the Premier in the legislature. Alpha Ramushwana reports.
We swallowed our pride, we are pulling them out and retrain them to be an additional resource to push back crime.
That was Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi acknowledging that his crime prevention wardens require further training. This admission came just a month after 5 wardens were shot and injured in what is believed to have been a gang attack. DA Gauteng leader Solim Simanga has criticized Lesufi, saying it was reckless to deploy the wardens without proper training.
So we are talking to our lawyers in terms of what are the criminal charges that can actually then be opened here. By the way, there are AmaPanyazas that have died. Is there a case to answer in that? I think Panyaza will then need to then come and account to that.
Lesufi has vowed that the wardens will be absorbed as traffic officers. Alpha Ramshwana, Eyewitness News, Johannesburg.
Gold is trading at $4,112.74 an ounce. The rand is at 17.34 to the dollar, 23.09 to the pound, 20.12 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $65.69 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays in Woodmead on the N1 South. An accident reported right near Rivonia Road. Delays from the Baklu interchange. There's also queuing traffic on the N3 North. This is between Marlborough Drive and the Baklu interchange due to roadworks.
And in your sport, the Proteas women take on Australia in their last group game of the Cricket World Cup tomorrow. URC weekend opens tonight with the Bulls at Glasgow. Tomorrow, the Lions host Ulster at Ellis Park. Big weekend for 4 South African teams in the CAF Champions League and Confed Cup. And Max Verstappen's feeling energized and hunting to try snatch that F1 championship back. They're racing in Mexico this weekend.
A fine Friday in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 30 and 31 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. Gauteng Acting Judge President Aubrey Ledwaba says he will not be taking special leave after requesting to appear before the Madlanga Commission to set the record straight on the granting of bail to alleged kingpin Katiso Katie Molefe.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
702 on 92.7 and 106 FM.
Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
And on DSTV channel 856.
8 after 8 this Friday morning. Good morning. I'm Stephen Krutis in for Bongani Bingwa this morning. Plenty to come over the next hour. Really enjoying your company. Really enjoying hearing from you as well on 072 702 1702. And of course, you can call in too on 011 883 0702. I mean, in a way, it makes me sound a bit 20th century, that, doesn't it? All right, lots to come. We'll talk more, of course, about the G20. We'll check in with what's happening there. We'll hear from Mateo at the business desk. Amma was watching the traffic for you. You're allowed to start swearing at the cyclists already if you like, but what's going to happen on Sunday? I'll be one of them, so feel free. You know you've always wanted to. Also, of course, we'll find out what's happening in the news desk with Sofiso Zulu. Still so many questions about the Madlanga Commission, the Parliamentary inquiry, Bheki Cele, the acting judge president in Gauteng, Judge Aubrey Ledwaba. Wouldn't like to be him this morning. I think a very, very difficult decision to make. And I made the point earlier. I think the Chief Justice, Mandisa Maya's statement that you'd offered him special leave and he had said no might just actually put so much pressure on him, he does feel he has to go. You can just imagine what's going to happen. The other big story, of course, Panyaza Lesufi, Mr. Premier, sir, you and I go back a little bit. You'll remember, we have each other's numbers. Why did you make the announcement before the public protector's finding, hey? Come on, you can't choreograph some things. Just come and say you were wrong. Just do it. Just say, I got it wrong. And people will move on. But, you know, so long as you don't do something like that again, I suppose it's all about the law with the AmaPanyaza. And what happens to them next? Also, a big question this morning. Glad you're with us.
Let's walk the talk.
702.
I'm on Mateo with me. So, Kabazela was talking about people who take their eggs in a disorderly fashion. You've got your eggs in your rows, you've got them in your fridge or in your drawer. And I'm going to take a guess, Mateo, but I don't know if you're that orderly a person.
I'm very orderly.
Are you?
Yeah.
Down
Whether
the
it's
line.
3
You
or
study
4 eggs that will
accountancy.
know their day, I'm not sure. But no, I think it would be quite strange to pick off eggs randomly on the tray.
Really? So,
Yeah.
so you're not a randomized guy.
No, not with eggs.
Very rational. You've been watching the markets a bit long.
I count my eggs. So no.
Why did we open the door to that? Amo, as organized?
Not really, no. But if I were to live with someone who picks their eggs randomly, I would then go and line them up properly again.
That's very passive aggressive.
Passive-aggressive.
Yes. So, would you discuss it with them?
No. Most of the times I don't discuss things that I feel like I've got the power to sort out on my own. So if you leave your socks sitting over there, I'll take them. If it doesn't bother me to do it, I'll do it. So yeah, I'll reline, I'll put the eggs back into their order again and move on.
So the phrase, "Why don't you do it like a normal person?" You've never come out your lips, never escaped your lips.
It has. It actually. It has. On various things, though, but it has, yeah.
Okay. I mean, the other thing, such an interesting question. Which sports person would you like to bring back? If they could take a poll and just come back. I've been thinking about it a little bit. I think I have a person. Mateo, do you have a person? You've had footballers up until now?
I think I would like to see Brian Lara bat again.
Brian Lara. What was it, 405?
I can't remember
it was
quite
400
the
not
number.
out. It was
Yes,
400 not
I
out.
mean, I watched a clip yesterday on TikTok of him batting and winning the game against Australia, one of the games that he won, and I was like, wow, man, I haven't seen someone bat so freely in a long time, especially for Test cricket.
Yeah.
And for like a player, it'd probably be someone like Lungi Sangobe or a Paris legend of some sort. Yeah.
They're legend. Never mind.
I'd definitely like to see Caster Semenya run again. Oh.
Sure. What a great choice.
Oh my goodness, I'd love to see whether the 800 or the 1-4. I'd just like to see her race and actually race for a medal, not just for fun, because she does that anyway, right? Yeah.
I was thinking, I mean, this is a strange thing because I never saw it and it's long before my time. But everyone in cricket will always talk about Donald Bradman because, you know, he has the average of 99.94. And if he'd got 4 runs, it would have been 100. Never been done then, never been done now. So I'd like to just see that. And then the other one is Makaya and Tini because of his bowling action.
Oh, yes.
Was just, I heard this great story. Ali Bacher told me this story once. I just dropped that in there. But he told me the story about when he was, you know, they had scouts all over the country and he had given all the scouts his cell phone number. This is in the early 90s. So cell phones were a thing. You had one of those and your name wasn't Cyril or Rolf. Well, then you were doing well, you know. And he told me the story. He says, so this person, he you know, it's an arbitrary sort of day and this person phones him from the Eastern Cape. And he says, I've just seen this 14-year-old bowl his second ball, and he's going to play for South Africa. So he saw the first ball, and he was like, and he said, as he saw the first ball, he hauled out his phone and dialed Ali's number. And as he bowled the second, before the ball had even hit the wicket, he pressed call because he knew. And by the end of the week, Makaya and Tini was in Dale College. It's an amazing story.
That's absolutely amazing.
It's amazing when you just see that greatness, that unbelievable.
And when you just know,
You just know. You do sometimes see that when you just know. Some people with singing, I've seen some people moving a crowd. Dr. Klinem Klope telling a story.
Yeah.
You just know.
This is what they were born for.
Yeah, really is incredible. Your thoughts, who would you like to bring back?
Morning, Stephen and team. Happy Friday, everyone. The athlete that I would bring back any day would be Martina Navratilova. Oh my word, the tennis player. Any day, whole day, I would watch that lady. Yeah, it would be great to have her back or to just watch her one more time. Obviously not at her age now, but as a young one. Thank you, Stephen. Bye.
Hi, for me, the person that I would like to bring back is Michael Schumacher and Anton Senna. Those are the two people that I would love to see.
Sporting greats. For me, there's a couple. I would have loved to see Muhammad Ali. My dad used to rave about him. My dad used to watch boxing a lot. So do I. I watch a lot of boxing. But the biggest one for me is definitely Sir Alex Ferguson as the manager of Manchester United. I'd do anything to get that man back just for one season. Because ever since he left,
a player that I'd probably pop a pill for would be Pat Lambie. Pat Lambie, from what I recall, played excellent rugby. Concussion stopped his trajectory. Probably Pat Lambie.
Some such interesting choices, eh? I mean, Pat Lambie I hadn't thought of. Muhammad Ali, how could we miss out Muhammad Ali? I mean, what a great choice. And I think Manchester United would quite like Alex Ferguson back too.
I agree with that one.
The way things are going. All right, yeah, so much going on. All right, who would you bring back? 16 after 8.
EWN Traffic.
Well, traveling on the N3 South, we've got an accident reported. It's right after Marlborough Drive. Please be on the lookout there. And talking of the N3, bumper-to-bumper traffic on the N3 North. This is due to roadworks taking place right near the Baklu interchange, causing those heavy delays. Please drive with care. And then traveling in Woodmead, an accident on the N1 South right after the Baklu interchange. It's causing massive queues. Please be on the lookout there. The N1 North is also heavily backed up between Winnie Mandela Drive and the Baklu interchange. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
At the heart of global conversations shaping the future, Africa's voice matters more than ever. As Africa's largest bank by assets and lead sponsor of the B20 Summit, the Standard Bank Group is proud to spotlight the continent's growth, partnerships and potential on the world stage. Through informed dialogue and powerful partnerships, Standard Bank is driving sustainable growth where it matters most. Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
Rent up, food up, electricity up, everything up. Except demos at Motor Select. This Friday and Saturday only, we're bringing prices down on demo models from leading brands. Trade your car in and get up to 100,000 Rand trade-in assist in our Demo Deal Dash. 2 days only. Visit SA's largest dealer network at motorselect.co.za to shop our demo range.
On the N17 Tonk-meter section in the city of Ekurhuleni, important resurfacing work is underway. Over 30 kilometers of road is being repaired using sustainable techniques, making the road better and longer lasting. This project is already creating jobs with more than 80 local workers employed and millions set aside for small businesses. Please obey signs and speed limits in construction zones. Completion by November 2026. Together, we are building better journeys. Sunrail, an agency of the Department of Transport.
Herschel Gibbs here, with more than just a crypto ad. Crypto payments are now live on 10Bet. And there's more. Download the app, deposit, and get an extra 5% in cash. The future of betting, faster, safer, and smoother. Play now at 10bet.co.za. 10Bet is a licensed betting operator and supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 shall be permitted to bet. Betting can be addictive. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counselling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710.
In a world shaped by those who build, disrupt, and reimagine, there comes a gathering not just of minds, but of futures. The South African Future Trust Summit, in partnership with Standard Bank, is where top entrepreneurs, innovators, and changemakers converge. It's where the future of enterprise is redefined. On 5 and 6 November, you could be there. Stand a chance to win tickets to the South African Future Trust Summit on 702. WhatsApp the keyword SAFT with your name and ID number, telling us how you would benefit from attending the summit to 072-702-1702. Then catch 702 Drive with John Pullman to find out if you're a winner. The South African Future Trust Summit in partnership with Standard Bank. Your summit, your way on 702. TCs and more on primemediaplus.com.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
The G20 Correspondence Desk on 702 is proudly brought to you by RMB and FNB, divisions of First Rand Bank Limited. Well, let's talk a bit about the G20 now. AmaPanyaza is the chief economist at RMB. You're sitting opposite me now, Isaiah. Is this a money show joke? How's it?
Very well, Steve.
Good. It's a bit early, isn't it? The G20 Finance and Infrastructure Task Force, why does that exist? What's it for?
Look, if you look at development across the world, it's underpinned by infrastructure. Much of the developing world, particularly Africa, has been left behind in critical infrastructure. If you just look in terms of our intra-African trade, it's the lowest across all the continents. In part, it is because of bad infrastructure. It could be road infrastructure, port infrastructure. It could be, airports infrastructure for air cargo. All of those things requires to be done and efficient and price efficient in terms of how much does it cost companies to ship goods between countries. Until then, we are not going to realize the free continental Africa trade that we are embarking on.
How important is the private sector in infrastructure development? There's so much talk about the private sector in our society. Is it the same across the continent?
It is the same across the continent. It's pretty much the same globally. The private sector plays a critical role. It's quite obvious. There is a lot of evidence which shows governments alone cannot deliver the critical infrastructure that is required. You can look at it from a fiscal perspective. There are constraints, which means we need the private sector financing, but also the innovation in terms of the financing products, which is where we come. We are an investment bank, which means financial, products, innovative that matter is what we do on a daily basis. So we can bring that, but also we channel funds from those that have excess funds to where the funds are limited, which means we have that ability to make sure that we coordinate these financial instruments to the places where they are required. And being a Pan-African, a player, we play that role quite well in many African countries that require the financing.
Institutions like RMB, private capital, this is quite important for infrastructure investment. It's not really going to happen without capital.
Absolutely. It's not going to happen without capital. Just think about in our own country issues with Eskom and energy deficiency. The private sector put in more than 300 billion worth of capital into renewable energy. That is money that government does not have to spend because the private sector has stepped in. But there is still need for de-risking some of the project from the public sector, on top of which the private sector can fund and complete the projects.
I presume that however much money we put into infrastructure investment is going to have a big impact on economic growth one way or another. You don't invest in water, you're not going to have water. It's all the same for the economy.
Absolutely. We have done a lot of research to figure out which sectors need investment for the economy to grow in a way that creates jobs. Agriculture, manufacturing, logistics, and all of those things require an underpinning infrastructure. We also have this rural-urban migration phenomenon that's taking place across the continent, which means cities are increasingly overburdened by the need to provide that infrastructure. And that's where we need the investments to flow in to make sure that when people move to urban areas, they find places that have water, that have electricity, that have sewage removal, processes, to make sure that the areas where people go, they are habitable.
Madlanga, so good to see you. Thanks very much indeed. We should do this earlier, more often.
Absolutely.
The chief economist at RMB. Hosted in Africa for the first time, this year's G20 summit focuses on solidarity, equality and sustainability. Bringing you news and insights from the summit, tune into the G20 Correspondence Desk. Brought to you by RMB and FNB, proud sponsors of this year's G20 summit. Guided by the spirit of Ubuntu, RMB and FNB empower communities. They are committed to a sustainable future and are deeply invested in humanity. RMB and FNB are divisions of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized financial services and credit provider.
702, The World View
with Adam Gilchrist.
Adam Gilchrist, it's been years. My name's Stephen. Good morning.
Morning, Stephen. Has it been years? Gosh, I was going to go months, but okay, years it is.
Let's stick with
How are
months.
you,
It
sir?
makes my hair darker. No, good, thanks. This FBI celebrity gambling bust. I mean, it's fantastic in a strange way.
Isn't it? Extraordinary thing, really. 30 people arrested for suspected illegal gambling of two particular kinds. And amongst them, some basketball stars. They're not names I necessarily know, but in the world of basketball, Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier, Damon Jones. I think Damon Jones in particular was a bit of a star at one stage. I guess they're more ex-NBA stars. They have been arrested for related but separate illegal gambling cases. So the first instance that the FBI is looking into, 6 defenders using insider information and in some cases players altering their performances to manipulate bets. Doesn't that ring a horrible bell in one or two circles? The second is 31 defendants, and there's a huge mafia influence in this as well, that members of the mafia organized essentially poker games, and they used X-ray tables and specially fitted glasses and contact lenses to see the other's cards. And isn't that Ocean's 11 meets James Bond? It's an extraordinary thing. And in the course of this, people lost millions. In fact, one punter, who I'm sure doesn't want his name to come forward, lost very nearly $2 million in this way. The NBA, the National Basketball Association, says Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier have immediately, as coaches, been placed on leave whilst this plays out. But the FBI director, Kash Patel, says it's a mind-boggling fraud, and it involves tens of millions of dollars over many years with some pretty high-profile names.
Gambling, hey? And the big wedding fuss in Iran. This is about the daughter of a security official.
Exactly. I mean, it's not all the time that a wedding dress causes an enormous fuss. I mean, usually it's just doesn't it look like a meringue, or what was she thinking, or something catty like that. But in this case, it's sort of policy undermining, regime shaking, potentially. Social media in Iran is abuzz with this, that essentially it's a wedding dress worn by the daughter of the man who has enforced Iran's strict hijab laws. So we see footage. In fact, the wedding took place last year, but the footage has only just come out of the ceremony. It's the daughter of Ali Shamkhani. Now, he is one of Ayatollah Khamenei's closest allies, and as I say, enforcing the dress code for women in Iran. And you see this picture of his daughter. She looks lovely, by the way, don't get me wrong, but she's wearing a fashionable, low-cut, strapless wedding gown as she walks down the aisle. Low cut and strapless for the guy. Anyway, millions of Iranian women face arrest if they have a lock of hair showing, or, I mean, let alone a flash of flesh. But Shamkhani's wife is also at the wedding, again wearing a lovely dress, but in a blue lace gown without backs or sides. Sure. Context and perspective, given what's going on and what's going on because of him in Iran, you can imagine the kind of anger and ire that people are feeling at the moment.
No, I can't. People must be furious. And then this is about balloon smuggling from Belarus into Lithuania.
I instantly thought of kids' party balloons. I think they're a bit bigger than that, because inside is some contraband, some counterfeit contraband. As a result of these balloons crossing the border from Belarus to Lithuania, a load of flights were cancelled at the main airport. Loads of passengers, I mean, thousands of passengers were disrupted and delayed. Other flights cancelled and diverted. The balloons that went across the border were stuffed with cigarettes, launched from several locations in Belarus, but coordinated to be illegal contraband and picked up in Lithuania. The gang's downfall is the very fact that they use balloons because they are notoriously unpredictable and impossible to control. You send a balloon off, where does it end up? Not small time either, because the last time this happened, there were 25 balloons packed with 40,000 cigarettes. So it's quite a thing. Watch the skies. The balloons are coming.
It's all going up in smoke. Adam Gilchrist, thanks very much indeed. Good to talk again.
EWN Business.
How's it, Mateo? Afrimat, much better earnings from them.
Yeah, the mining and materials group Afrimat reporting a 92% profit drive driven by the acquisition of Lafarge earlier this year and overall volume and sales increases. Operating profit up 30% to 5.3 billion rand. The company says sustainable electricity tariffs could maintain competitiveness and prevent further erosion of industrialization in South Africa. Of course, Afrimat, one of the companies that have been affected by the double-digit tariff hikes that have come through from NERSA and Eskom, which have led to some closures of smelters in the country and weighed on local demand for iron ore and anthracite coal.
And then Sasol shares yesterday up 17%. I mean, I had to read it to myself 3 times to make sure I got it right. It seems so extraordinary.
Yeah, they never go up by that much. I mean, when they hit 10% earlier in the day, I was like, what's going on? But that's because the company reported a growth across its business segments in line with the market guidance. The company took advantage of sanctions placed on Russia, boosting oil prices during the period. Brent crude up 4% to $65 a barrel as Russian oil firms Rosneft and Lukoil were blacklisted by the US. Sasol's Southern African mining division also seeing some increases of 18% for its production in the quarter.
And what's happening on the market so far this morning?
Yeah, no, a good one for the rand. 17 rand 32 against the US dollar this morning. 20 rand 12 cents against the euro, and 23 rand 9 cents against the British pound. Price of gold at $4,089 an ounce, while platinum is up 2.5% at $1,616. Brent crude at exactly $65 a barrel. More business this afternoon.
Mateo, thanks very much indeed. Just gone 8:30. Let's get the latest eyewitness news now. Soviso, good morning. Beke Cele and Anele Tembe, what's the latest?
Well, Stephen, the former police minister says the fiancé of rapper AKA might have been murdered. This was part of Cele's testimony yesterday at the ad hoc committee probing alleged police corruption in the country. Tembe died after falling from the 10th floor of a hotel in Cape Town in 2021 while allegedly in the company of AKA. Cele told the committee that police investigating the death did not rule out murder.
I went to the president personally. I said, Mr. President, your Minister of Police is going to do something funny. Is going to support the private prosecution. And the prosecutor refused to give certificate. So he can't prosecute, he can't give certificate. So you're stuck in the middle.
16 months since the last elections, Parliament has taken stock of the process, highlighting long queues, low voter turnouts, poorly trained people and failing technology as the main issues that require attention. The National Assembly yesterday debated an electoral report from the Home Affairs Committee, which has recommended a review of the rules on voting outside a registered voting district. Opposition parties have argued that the Electoral Commission cannot assess its own performance and wants its officials to face security vetting and lifestyle audits. Lindsay Dentlinker reports.
Political parties across the board say they are concerned about what appears to be inadequate training for electoral staff. The DA's Adrian Roos said the IEC's information technology, especially temperamental voter management devices, remained concerning.
The 2024 national and provincial elections saw over 800 voting stations close after 9 p.m, with no detailed analysis of why. BMD data can and must be used to track the causes of these late closures.
Bossa MP Nabunto Shlazo Webster says Section 24A of the Electoral Amendment Act, requiring the IEC to be notified before being eligible to vote outside of a voting district, is disenfranchising the voter.
And so we can't call ourselves a free democracy when the system actually ultimately denies votes, denies voices, and denies power.
The ACDP's Wayne Thring called for the urgent reform of the biometric identification system and for an independent audit of the IEC's digital infrastructure. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
Community leaders in Zitobeni Bronkhorstspruit say people are living in fear since a shooting at a tavern claimed 5 lives and left several others injured. The local community policing forum says Extension 8 remains one of the places hardest hit by crime, and the attack earlier this month has heightened tensions. One of the alleged gunmen appeared in court yesterday and has been remanded in custody pending a formal bail hearing next month. Speaking outside court, chairperson of the forum, November Mbonani, says crime in the area is rife.
That area, if I can give you a background, predominantly as an informal settlement, comprises of people that are undocumented, foreign nationals, and who have access to guns.
And the World Health Organization says there has been little improvement in the amount of aid going into Gaza since a ceasefire took hold, and no observable reduction in hunger. Israel has repeatedly cut off aid to the Gaza Strip during the war, exacerbating dire humanitarian conditions. Since the start of 2025, more than 400 people are known to have died from the effects of malnutrition in Gaza, including 109 children. Aid groups have been appealing to Israel to allow more trucks carrying food, medicine and other supplies into the enclave since the start of the latest truce. At least 190,000 tons of aid have been positioned by the UN and partner NGOs to enter Gaza, and as soon as possible, though much of it is still waiting for clearance by Israel. United Nations spokesperson Farhan Haq says their teams are ready to deliver essential supplies as soon as their trucks are allowed into the strip.
Certainly, we want the Israeli authorities to allow in more trucks at more crossing points. We've made that clear. At the same time, we are aware that there are more UN trucks and also more commercial trucks going in, and that is a welcome sign. We want to build on that.
A fine Friday in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 30 and 31 degrees.
And in the traffic, we've got an accident reported on the N1 South. It's right near Rivonia Road. Delays coming out of the Baklu interchange and travelling on the N3 North. Do you expect heavier traffic volumes approaching the Baklu turnoff due to roadworks?
The top story this hour, former Police Minister Bheki Cele says Anele Tembe, the fiancé of rapper AKA, might have been murdered.
The Midday Report.
Weekdays,
12 to 1.
Chairperson, is like saying you have a bread. Instead of buying the bread for those that don't have a bread, you take the bread from the one that you all go hungry. I fully agree. We're all equal. But maybe the books that you have not equality does silently apply sometimes. Some are more equal than others.
Ever thought you'd hear Bheki Cele quoting George Orwell? That was an interesting experience. I love a good analogy. The loaf of bread was pretty good, I thought.
The Midday Report
with Mandy Wiener.
12 to 1 on 702.
702.
It's time to hit the streets and show what you're made of. The Discovery Vitality Chicken Run, flavoured by Nando's, is on Saturday, the 8th of November at 5 o'clock. And this one's pure city magic, reimagined and revitalised through Josie My Josie. Choose 5 kilometres for fun or 10 kilometres for bragging rights. Not ready? If you've sprinted for a taxi, dodged potholes, or climbed stairs when the power was out, you're trained. Getting there's easy via Gautrain to Park Station, then free Prasa train to Ellis Park. Lace up, show up, and enter now at racepass.com.
The team's on a roll today. Let me focus on payroll. Duty calls in the kitchen. That's why I have a business insurer that is agile and on the ball all the time on all things. I chose My Way Business Insurance, getting 24/7 emergency service and saving on my premiums, plus my business assist to handle my admin.
Visit myway.co.za or dial 0860 64 64 64 and get a quote today. My Way is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's, C's and standard rates apply. My Way. Live your way.
Welcome to the brand new days.
Sail the world with Norwegian Cruise Line, with more to see, more to do, and more to enjoy. Plus, upgrade your holiday with NCL's More at Sea for premium beverages, specialty dining, and much more. Think international cruising. Think NCL. For the best deals available, visit ncl.com or contact your travel agent. Restrictions apply.
Welcome to the brand new days.
Win a year's supply of fuel with Engine. Plus, stand a chance to win one of 5 double rugby tickets to see Wales versus South Africa live in Cardiff. To enter, spend 600 Rand or more when you fill up at any Engine. 2 lucky winners will win every week. Pay with the Engine One app and double your chances to win. T's and C's apply. Engine. With us, you are number one.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Eggs belong in the fridge, especially now in this heat wave that we've been having. Otherwise, you risk cracking an egg that's brought into the frying pan, unless if you crack it in the dish first and then put in the frying pan. I'm also a sucker for that pattern. I start on the right and go to the left. But then I catch myself doing that, and I remember that movie, the Julia Roberts movie, where the husband wanted towels in a certain pattern and tin stuff. And I sort of go random.
Morning, Ray and the listeners. I'm definitely one person that picks the eggs by line, one by one, starting from perhaps maybe the right and then go to the left, like that, in order. I think the ones that do that, like me, are conditioned somehow. I don't even know why I do that. I can't tell you why I do that, but that's just how I pick the eggs. Victoria from Pretoria.
Morning, everyone. So, Kabazela's question about eggs. I don't necessarily not take them in order. My thing about eggs is that I don't want to eat the last one, because I feel like, why did all the hands skip that egg? Why did everyone skip that egg? What's wrong with that egg? The destiny of that egg shouldn't be like for me to eat it. I don't know. It's weird.
I find that hilarious. Well, what's wrong with the last egg? I tell you, I have no problem with eating the last zoo biscuit. If there's a zoo biscuit left and it's been passed over, absolutely, that's mine. Look, I have teenagers, so your elbows get very good over the years to do that. But fascinating. And I think the Julia Roberts movie, was it Richard Gere? Was it the first one that she did, or the second one that she did? That was Pretty Woman, I think it was. I think it was where he had this thing about towels. I don't remember a lot of people wearing towels in that movie. Never mind. 19 minutes now to 9.
Good morning, 702 and team. Hey, today you almost had me confused, because I normally listen to Stephen when I'm driving from work in the afternoon. And then I turn on the radio now going to work. I'm expecting to hear Bongani or Ray White at least, or maybe Manyatela. And then I hear Stephen and I'm like, what happened? Is it already evening?
EWN Sport.
Feels like evening for some of us. Good morning.
Right.
Your bag is packed. You ready to go?
Yeah, always. Friday's almost my Friday has actually started. And people listening to this driving into work going, oh my gosh, but my weekend, has already started.
You can add Cindy Paluta to your list of people to swear at when you look at the road closures on Sunday. The Proteas, with the Proteas women, we're through to the next round.
We're through to the semi-finals. That's absolutely guaranteed.
We're playing?
We don't know yet. We don't yet.
No, but we're playing Australia tomorrow.
Yes, we're playing Australia tomorrow, but we don't know who we're playing in the semi-final yet, because I think all the teams still have to go through one last group game, including us. And it's going to be an exciting one. So the only team we've lost to so far is England. Australia's lost to absolutely nobody. So it'll be a great test, because should we come up against them, then we can gauge and, all that like checking each other out type of stuff, right? But here's Proteas all-rounder Marazan Cup.
If we keep on improving on the basics, we've been doing it pretty well. The batters have been very proactive. I mean, you saw Wolfie and Taz's innings the previous game, so the intent is there. Same with the bowlers. We can probably tighten up a little bit on the bowling side of things. Even though we've done well, we still bowl some bad and loose deliveries. But in general, we're happy with where we are at that moment.
Yesterday, India booked their semi-final spot, beating New Zealand. They joined South Africa, Australia and England in that final four. URC action tonight. The Bulls are away at Glasgow. They confirmed they will appeal Jan-Hendrik Wessel's 9-week ban on the basis there's no clear video evidence of foul play. Tomorrow, the Lions host Ulster. Sharks have yet to win a match. Host Scarlet. Stormers away at Benetton. Big weekend in the CAF Champions League and Confed Cup. Sundowns have a 5-1 lead ahead of Sunday's Champions League clash with Remo Stars. Tomorrow, Orlando Pirates have to overturn a 3-0 deficit but they're hosting St. Eloi Lupopo, while in the Confed Cup on Sunday, both Chiefs and Stellenbosch goal is going into their games. The Premier League starts tonight with Leeds against West Ham. Selected fixtures tomorrow, Chelsea against Sunderland. Liverpool are away at Brentford. Formula One's in Mexico this weekend, where all the talks about Max Verstappen's recent series of great results that puts him well within a reach of a world championship. Piastri tops the standings, only 14 points ahead of Norris, who in turn is 26 points ahead of Verstappen. Here's Verstappen.
It's clear that we had a good run. Definitely been enjoying it a lot more like that. And of course, we'll try to carry that momentum forward. But at the same time, we also know that we need to be perfect till the end to have a chance. But that's fine. I mean, we just try to enjoy, try to do the best we can and maximize it. And then at the end, we'll see where we end up.
And the MotoGP's in Malaysia this weekend. Sprint race is tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
EWN Traffic.
Well, travelling in Woodmead, we've got an accident reported on the N1 South. It's right after the Baklu interchange, delays towards Rivonia Road, so please be on the lookout there. While on the N1 North, there's queuing traffic as well. This is between Winnie Mandela Drive and the Baklu turn-off. So the Baklu turn-off is really hectic this morning due to also the roadworks that are taking place along the N3 North, causing delays between Vincent Chabalala Road and the Baklu interchange. So if you're heading towards the city of Tshwane this morning, please try to use the R21 North into areas like Tembisa as well as Midrand. Traveling on the Mark 1 North, some delays. This is between Boysons Road and Carr Street. And then, of course, do remember that we've got that big race coming up on Sunday, the Ride Joburg. So if you will be using some of the routes on the day, please head on over to ewn.co.za to see the roads that will be affected and plan your trips ahead of times. More updates coming up at the top of the hour.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Ha, guys, you must know your till slip is gonna get even longer. That new Discount Better Rewards card gets you 10% off instantly. Hey, but now, on top of that discount, you get an extra 5% off on over 140 brands. You just hand in your script or shop from the pharmacy. With 15% off instantly at the till. Your discount till slip never looked better. How nice, man.
Tip your way to glory in the Hollywood Bets Punters Challenge, the free-to-play horse racing game with daily cash giveaways and massive jackpot prizes. Pick all the winners on the race card and you could win 100,000 Rand. Bet 50 Rand or more on your selections using the Bet Slip feature and you could walk away with 1 million Rand. Visit punterschallenge.hollywoodbets.net today and tip your way to the top. T's and C's apply. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008.
Naked people always get dessert. Because naked people spend less money on insurance premiums, they've got more money for Malva pudding. Or cheesecake. Or both. With Naked, you can cover your car, home, and stuff in seconds. And because it's all online, it also costs less. Go to naked.insure now, get a car insurance quote in 90 seconds, and start treating yourself like naked people. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP. Get naked.
Coming up
on the Clement Manyatela Show
on 702.
Clement Manyatela, it's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
How are you doing?
Last time I saw you was very far from this place. And it wasn't at this hour.
It was very festive, or so I'm told.
Yeah, it was very festive. Are you good?
I'm very well, thank you. Yeah, I'm getting into the show, I think.
Yeah.
They haven't thrown me out yet.
Are you still here?
Yeah, wrong time zone, obviously, but otherwise fine.
You'll be good. All right, so what's coming up on our show this morning? We're going to start with the 702 open line. We're going to be discussing what happened in Parliament yesterday. Becky Kele. Yeah, there's a lot of things that happened there.
I just can't get away from how politicians and police in that interface is such a mess. Yeah. And it is so obvious. It's so obvious to me that the moment you have politicians meeting, or someone like Kat Matlala meeting with someone who actually doesn't have an official office, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
And he now wants to tell South Africans that, I saw nothing wrong with sleeping at the apartment of the man that you knew was involved in the levels of the alleged corruption that were already being reported about at the time. What does it say about you?
No,
And you want to say, well, I wasn't a minister anymore?
Book a hotel like everyone else.
Are you kidding me? Yeah.
Are you telling me after all these years, Becky Clele doesn't have anyone in Pretoria that he could stay at?
But
seriously?
I mean, really. So we're going to be talking about that. We'll play some few clips from what happened in Parliament yesterday. He's back this morning in Parliament. He starts at 9:30. We may take a bit of that live. But also, it's Friday, and every Friday on the open line, we do Gratitude Friday. So if you have something you're celebrating this week, something that put a smile on your face, please call us about it. We want to celebrate with you. Between 10 and 11 o'clock, we do the Across the Desk feature. Today, I'm hosting magicians on our Across the Desk feature. So they'll tell us more about their work. And then at 11:30, we do our relationship feature. It's adult radio, Stephen, at 11 o'clock. It's actually Bongani's favorite feature. Today, we're going to be discussing the body's pleasure pathways. Just the pleasure spots in your sexual organs which can lead to an orgasm. I'll explain later at 11 when the adults are listening.
Clement Manyatela enjoying the show this morning from 9 o'clock.
Are you ready to be inspired and grow your business? The South African Future Trust Summits, in partnership with Standard Bank and 702, returns to the Sandton Convention Centre on 5 and 6 November. Gain insights from international and local speakers, connect with entrepreneurs and investors, and come and pitch your business idea or come and buy a business in a box. Tickets are limited and selling fast. Grab yours now at summit.southafricanfuturetrust.org.
In business, there are no guarantees, but here's a guarantee you can bank on. Switch to Outsurance Business Insurance and get a guaranteed, non-escalating premium for 12 months. Even if you claim. For pharmacies, restaurants, beauty salons, convenience stores, and other industries, Outsurance Business Insurance are trusted experts in insuring your business. Get more out. Get a quick and easy quote today. Call 08 600 60,000 or visit outsurance.co.za. Licensed insurer and FSP, TCs and information online.
To celebrate 25 years of helping you live the Premier life, FNB Premier is giving you a chance to win a 14-day European tour experience and other cool monthly prizes. Open any FNB Premier account from September to 31 December 2025. Switch your salary, swipe or tap a minimum of 2,000 Rand per month for 3 months straight. Spend and win with FNB Premier. FNB, help changes everything. TCs and competition rules apply. FNB, a division of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized financial services and credit provider.
702. WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Morning, Stephen. Now that they're taking away the AmaPanyaza, the mugging in Joburg will be worse than worse. So let them replace the AmaPanyazas with the AmaPerete for 3 years because they're going for training for 3 years. That's what we hear. Replace them with AmaPerete. Thank you. We can't just keep Joburg without anyone around there. Thank you.
What's going to happen with all the BMWs and fancy cars and all the other stuff that has been bought for the crime wardens? When this was initially launched, many of us were saying, but the police and EMPD and JMPD and TMPD were under-resourced and didn't have the necessary equipment. You've got all of that equipment now that's coming free because of his illegal activities. So what's going to happen with all of the stuff? And will the Premier be held financially responsible for the decision he made? Thank you. Bye.
Such a great question. Was also my thought was what's going to happen to the cars. And yeah, back to that question, will the Premier be held personally accountable for what he did? I mean, this is the thing, is that yes, he was in office and I'm sure there'll be some legality and people in office should be able to make decisions without worrying about themselves. That's true. But at the same time, when you do something and everybody says to you, this is wrong, and you go ahead and do it anyway, I do think there have to be consequences. Your thoughts this morning?
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Well, Standard Bank Private Winex Festival, they're back in Joburg this week from Wednesday, and it's Joburg next week, actually, from Wednesday to Friday next week, the 29th of October to Friday the 31st. Well, the founder of Winex and the director is Michael Fridjon. I should call him a visiting professor, but Michael and I have met each other once or twice. I don't think you'll mind, Michael. Michael, good morning.
Not at all. Hi, Stephen. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. I mean, 2000 was the year you started, 25 years ago. The wine industry in South Africa always had a special place in our economy. Obviously grown, it seems, since then.
It's grown enormously. It's almost impossible to think back that 25 years. The number of wineries has doubled. Oddly enough, the number of grape growers has more than halved, but that's simply a measure of consolidation in the sort of farming of the grapes rather than the production of the wine. And so we have a much more diverse wine industry in every sense of the word, not just the demographic, but also in terms of lots of smaller, more boutique producers, handcrafting wine, the arrival on the scene of the whole Old Vine project and the excitement around vineyards, some of which were planted more than a century ago. It's a completely changed environment.
And the people who drink wine, the people you see at WineX, the customers, I'm sure they've changed too. And I mean, that's really good for the wine industry. It's got to keep growing.
Absolutely. I mean, it's unrecognizable compared with what it was. The opening WineX was the kind of crowd you could imagine at the end of the 90s. Very male, very white, I have to say, and very, very much the kind of people who didn't want to learn about wine because they thought they knew it. What we have now is a much more adventurous consumer. We obviously have a completely different demographic, and wine is the most agnostic of all the alcoholic beverages. That is to say that men and women, gender agnostic, men and women share it together. So it's a lovely crowd. And oddly enough, it's a pretty well-behaved crowd, considering that there are limitless supplies of wine. People come there because they really want to, sharpen their senses, learn more about wine, and engage with the producers. And we do what we can to make that possible. This year, we're introducing sort of 18 fish bowls of aromas, so that all this does wine smell of cherries or berries or mow and hay or whatever. You can actually go and sniff the aromas and maybe help focus the way you think and taste wine.
Sure. Okay, so you're a first-timer. You've never been to WineX before. You don't know much about wine. You know how these things happen, Michael. Someone got you a ticket and she said to you, you have to go. What should you be doing your first time at WineX?
So we like to say that it never really happens. People should go to the website first. And I'll tell you why. Firstly, you can actually plan your way around the room slightly better and not be overwhelmed by over 150 stands or whatever there are. Secondly, as you click on a producer on the website, you'll get a drop down which will tell you what wines are actually going to be at that stand, so that you go to the styles of wine you know you like, but then you should also go to the styles you know nothing about, because WineX is that opportunity of expanding your palate and discovering that you really do like Chardonnay, not only Sauvignon Blanc. The other thing we've introduced this year, we've called it a passport, because it's a passport-sized booklet, which tells you how to make your way around the room, tells you about the exhibitors, tells you whether their wines are red, white, or rosé. Or, which is amazing, we now have 86 sparkling wines in a room of 700 different wines. You could spend the whole evening sampling different bottles of fizz.
You have an immense wine knowledge, and you will know how important it is that people can find the popular stuff and can find new things. That new things, how do you make sure that they're integrated into this?
It's a real challenge. It's a really fair question. So we know that people gravitate towards the names that they're familiar with. But we always say, and this is really good guidance, especially to first-time visitors, if you go always to the people whose wines you know, you're not actually expanding your experience, your wine knowledge, or your taste interest. So I always say to people, you should go, every second stand you visit should be utterly unfamiliar, and what you should do is ask to taste a style of wine you don't think you've ever had before. So if you're a white wine drinker, force yourself to try one or two red wines. There are spittoons everywhere. We really do encourage people to spit, but even if they're uncomfortable, about spitting. They can empty the contents of the glass if they don't like what's in it and move on. There's no guilt and no obligation to keep on with something you don't like having in your glass.
And, Michael, food? There's food there too. I mean, food's a big part of it.
There is food. We have a number of food exhibitors, but we also make sure that there's an ample supply of food. There's a kind of eat area where people can get very well-priced food provided by the convention centre so that they have what I like to call blotting paper as they make their way around the room.
Oh, blotting paper. You really don't want to do without that. And there are people also who you can ask questions. There are people talking about wine. I mean, that's, I think, one of the reasons people go.
Absolutely. And, I think the reason that Standard Bank is involved is that they understand that wine culture is part of that kind of comfort zone that you get to when you do have a little bit of discretionary spending power and you don't want to be discomforted by wine. So the Cape Wine Academy, for example, is there. It has an interactive stand and it encourages people to learn more about wine, to be comfortable in wine space. There is the sense that wine is a bit elitist. I don't think it is. I think that people who know a little bit about wine sometimes, sometimes try to make other people feel a little inadequate. But wine is a fun beverage. And if you're at Winex, you will see how much fun everyone is having.
Michael, good to talk to you. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate it. Professor Michael Fredron is the founder of Winex and director of Winex. Well, I have to tell you, I've thoroughly enjoyed being with you this morning and hearing from you as well. Been really one of the highlights. Clement is next. There's a lot more to come on 702 throughout the day where you can walk the talk with us. I'm Stephen Grootes. Good morning. It's 9 o'clock.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I am Sfiso Zulu. Former Police Minister Bheki Cele